Try OpenPhone for free at openphone.com/try and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's openphone.com/try. openphone.com/TRY.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call the Lance Story Law Firm today and let us get between you and the IRS. We'll protect your rights, including your right to appeal or even your right to take the IRS to tax court. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney team who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Story Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm, 314-260-6120.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertising.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app.
This is a Fox News alert. Hulk Hogan has died. I'm Lisa Brady. A statement from WWE just confirming the death of the wrestling legend in Florida. He was 71. Police in Clearwater say first responders answered a cardiac arrest call about 3 hours ago, just before 10 Eastern this morning. Hogan was treated and taken to the hospital, but pronounced dead.
He was born Terry Jean Bollea in Augusta, Georgia. And again, it's really hard to put to words what he meant to sports, to celebrity, his signature blonde hair, his ripping of his shirt before a match. Truly one of the legends of the sports world.
Fox's Jeff Paul. Hogan campaigned last year for President Trump, speaking at the Republican National Convention after the Trump assassination attempt.
When they took a shot at my hero, and they tried to kill the next president of the United States, enough was enough.
A deputy White House press secretary posting, "Rest in peace, brother." In its post, WWE calls Hogan one of pop culture's most recognizable figures. Aside from WrestleMania, he appeared in movies and TV shows, including his own reality TV show with his wife and 2 children. Again, Hulk Hogan was 71. The man accused of a second Trump assassination plot last year, Ryan Ruth, winning approval from a federal judge in Fort Pierce, Florida, to represent himself at trial.
Ruth had already told the court he was dissatisfied with his federal public defenders, saying they weren't doing as requested. Those lawyers then filed a request asking to be dismissed from the case, stating Ruth was refusing to work with them.
Fox's Eben Brown. The judge, though, is having attorneys stay in order to assist him. America is listening to Fox News.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
It is the hardcore feel of summer going through our Thursday afternoon. Partly sunny, hot and humid. 99 today, the heat index 108. Warm and humid tonight, 77. 80 plus for the city. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, partly sunny, hot and humid. Each day, though, could bring some spot afternoon thunderstorms. 95 Friday, 97 Saturday, 98 on Sunday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show Live, sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. If you need a new air conditioner installed this summer, call a company you can trust to install your AC properly. That will get your home cool and comfortable fast. For a free estimate on a new air conditioner, visit aircomfortservice.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
When the director says that she's referred these filings to the Justice Department for a criminal investigation, tonight we're told they formed what is called a strike force. Do you have concerns that they will attempt to prosecute you?
Well, certainly I do. After 8.5 years of this, and I don't know of an intelligence product that was more scrutinized, more investigated than that product was by numerous people. It's very disconcerting. It really is. And I take seriously when the President of the United States accuses me of being a participant in a treasonous conspiracy, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, what's your reaction to that?
It's ridiculous. It is untrue.
So what will you do if they come after you? What is your plan?
Well, I'll lawyer up, I suppose. Already have.
You've already hired attorneys in anticipation that this Trump Justice Department could try to prosecute you.
We've had sort of perpetual attorneys since I left the government in 2017.
James Clapper saying, sounds like we're getting pretty close to lawyering up. I can't imagine that he doesn't already have something put in place here to defend himself against the accusations that we heard yesterday from Tulsi Gabbard in the White House, or at in the press room. Were you able to go back, Ryan, and re-listen to any of that stuff? Did you do a refresh?
Well, I've listened to it enough through promos and afterwards that yes, I did. Yes.
Okay. The answer is simply yes.
I could have just said yes. It would have made it easy.
Or just like told me what you thought about it.
Or I could have told you what I thought about it.
Let me rephrase. 24 hours later, Ryan, do you have any extra thoughts about the Tulsi Gabbard press conference yesterday and Russiagate now looking like it's a pretty big deal?
I'm glad you asked that, Annie.
Thank you for saying that.
Yes, I do. I do believe that this story is finally starting to break through. This was information that has been coming out for days now, and it's finally being taken seriously after that press conference yesterday.
Let's go back and listen a little bit to what Tulsi Gabbard had to say regarding the crux of what we heard yesterday and really the kind of earth-shattering portion of this. Here's Tulsi answering the question.
Thank you. And Director Gabbard, this one is for you. Do you believe that any of this new information implicates former President Obama in criminal behavior?
We have referred and will continue to refer all of these documents to the Department of Justice and the FBI to investigate the criminal implications of this.
For even former President Obama?
Correct. The evidence that we have found and that we have released directly point to President Obama leading the manufacturing of this intelligence assessment. There are multiple pieces of evidence and intelligence that confirm that fact.
You know, I think back to some of the things that were thrown at Donald Trump when he was running for office the second time, maybe even a little bit before he officially said he was. But remember all those things that they kind of manufactured around him, a lot of skepticism that they were trying to storm up around him. Specifically, the thing that actually got him the mugshot. The suggestion that he, what did he do? Doctor documents and campaign finance illegalities and explain it. Can you explain it? That's a no.
I'm having
Brad, can you explain it?
How he doctor documents?
No. What is he a felon for?
Oh, I don't know the law on that.
Was it the one that he overinflated the assets that he owned, or was that a different case?
It was essentially fraud that he was alleged in New York because of the way that his books kept money that came in. Was it a campaign contribution? Was it not?
Yes.
These bookkeepers, I've said this many times before while we were walking through the whole trial when it was questionable whether he'd actually be charged. President Trump would actually be charged with this. And then, of course, the trial. And then, of course, the conviction. Now the appeal. I'd pay. I can't really actually do this. So this is just facetious. But I'd pay his fine if Donald Trump could figure out how to commit that crime again. The exact same crime.
Okay, yeah.
Do it again.
Yeah, because it had to do with that's when they were trotting in Stormy Daniels and all that stuff. It's hard to keep track of which one was which.
Well, because they overlap.
Yeah.
The point being that when you shift over to Adam Schiff, who has a house, I believe, in Maryland and a house in California, where he is a senator. Many senators have houses in the Washington, D.C. area and one in the state with which they reside. But it's not about the fact that he has two houses. That's what Adam Schiff keeps saying. He's like, everybody, all the senators have two places. That's just how it goes. Oh, poor baby has two houses. Everybody's doing it, and he got in trouble. And that's not what it is. That's not how it went. That's not what the problem is. He was changing factual information on mortgage applications to get a better deal, which is mortgage fraud, which is the same type of crime that Donald Trump has a conviction on. But when they're throwing it at Adam Schiff, I'm sitting here going, gosh, this is so small. This is so tedious. But he deserves every bit of the book that they can throw at Adam Schiff for being one of the concoctors of this Russiagate scenario that ended up in an impeachment of a man based on something that never, ever happened. I have it imprinted in my brain when they were going through the impeachment process. First one, remember this? It was about Ukraine. It was about you might remember, perfect phone call. Who was that perfect phone call in between? Donald Trump, Vladimir Zelensky. This is before Russia decided to invade Ukraine. Just ask Donald Trump, because he said he never would have done it if Donald Trump would have continued to be the president. Zelensky was saying, hey, we need to beef up our defense here, and we need you to send us the stuff you've sent us before. We need more. Feels like there's a threat out there coming towards Ukraine. Zelensky was right. And Donald Trump said, well, yeah, we can talk about that. We can do that. But we need a little bit of your help cooperating with an investigation we have currently. And we'd like to see you guys cooperate with our investigators and answer our questions post-haste. And Zelensky's like, okay, but we really need those munitions. And Donald Trump does what he does, and he negotiated. He was a strong-armed deal maker. He never didn't give them those arms and munitions. He never held anything back. But all of that idea that somehow or another, the lie that was told to the American people by Adam Schiff is that Donald Trump was withholding defense systems from Ukraine. Why would he do that? Who is looking to go into Ukraine? Russia. And if you are looking to help Vladimir Putin, everybody knows that Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin wear BFF necklaces with each other. They love each other. They're best friends. It seems as though this tracks with everything else we know. Donald Trump is strong-arming Zelensky and putting the Ukrainian people in danger to help Russia and Vladimir Putin. Except that never happened. It never, ever happened. Chuck Grassley and I think Ron Johnson from Wisconsin in the United States Senate, in that impeachment process, were saying, listen, we have investigations going on, and the investigations have to do with Ukraine. And they didn't come out and say it, but everybody else kind of said it. It had to do with the Biden family. They wanted to look into, they were in an active participation investigation into what we find out is Hunter Biden, Burisma, that whole relationship. At the same time that's all going on, it's an election year. And Joe Biden, they're saying that Donald Trump is trying to help Vladimir Putin and hurt his political opponent. Folks, when this was formulating and amassing, Joe Biden was not going to be the nominee. You remember that primary process. You had a lot of people up there, a lot of people to choose from. Joe Biden looked as old then. I don't know if he looked as old then as he did now, but he certainly looked super old and inept.
Yes.
Adam Schiff said that Donald Trump was hurting Ukraine on behalf of Russia because they were best buddies, because Donald Trump is colluding with Russia, and they were doing it all to hurt a political opponent, who was Joe Biden. All this time, the Biden family was actually under investigation for inappropriate relationships, business deals, which we have now found out were inappropriate across the globe. That all came to fruition. That investigation showed us what kind of man Hunter Biden is and what kind of operation that the big guy runs. We know all of this now. We know it now. But that impeachment was based on two lies. The entire Biden family, which is just one big fat lie. The whole thing is a lie. The Biden family has done everything they can to get where they want on the behalf of trading favors and making deals to seek power. None of that concerns the American people's betterment. It's for their betterment. The impeachment, the first impeachment, was based on the lie that the Biden family is clean and not corrupt, and the other lie would never been able to get anywhere with this suggestion. Like, Zelensky even came out and was like, everything's fine. Zelensky didn't come out and publicly try to throw Trump under the bus and say he got what he wanted. He got what he wanted. And the only reason that any of that would get any momentum is because we had talked for years about Donald Trump's inappropriate relationship with Russia, which was all Barack Obama's lie. Now, there are a lot of people talking right now about Russiagate, and they're saying it could be the biggest political scandal in American history. Is that too big of a statement?
No.
I don't think so either.
It could be. It probably is.
Maybe we'll find that out, and maybe we'll have the whole thing run its course, and we'll find that out. Maybe we won't. But we already know some new facts that show that Barack Obama was corrupt to the core. And he wanted to sabotage the person that the American voters chose to be the president. For some reason, there was something that he was trying to protect so much. There was something he was so afraid of Donald Trump seeing, getting his hands on, that he was willing to do to manufacture an intelligence report to try to completely ruin Donald Trump's ability to govern. And in the midst of this, Ghislaine Maxwell is now testifying or being interviewed. I don't know if it's an under oath situation. Did I hear this is the first time that the Department of Justice has interviewed her?
Is that not shocking? I mean, really?
Yes. I don't have words. That will be a developing story throughout the day as well. It's been suggested that it's funny, which political side of the aisle are you on? Or maybe it's not even just that bipartisan. Is Russiagate a cover-up for Epstein? Is this all coming out? Because the Epstein stuff was hitting Donald Trump hard there for a week. He was saying, don't pay attention to it. There's nothing there. We've done everything we can. Move on. If you aren't moving on, you're not my supporter. And then all of a sudden, Russiagate gets dropped. Is Russiagate a cover-up for Epstein? Or are we now interviewing Ghislaine Maxwell because the Epstein stuff is supposed to cover up and all the push that's coming from the Democrat side of the aisle? We need the Epstein files. We need the Epstein files. Is the Epstein story a cover-up for Russiagate? Or both, or neither? The bottom of this question is nobody trusts this government at all. And you shouldn't. They certainly haven't earned it. Hans von Spakovsky, our guest, when we come back, I'm just going to be like, Hans, talk to me, and let him say everything from what he heard yesterday from Tulsi Gabbard. Hans has a great way of saying things from that legal mind that we appreciate each week. He's a senior legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation, and Hans von Spakovsky is next on the Annie Fry Show.
Well, I'm going to miss her.
Attention St. Louis Medicaid residents in need of care at home. If you need assistance with daily activities, you can receive in-home care from a loved one that lives with you and they get paid. Through Medicaid, Freedom Care allows you to choose who provides your care at home in St. Louis and they get paid weekly. Available to eligible Medicaid members in St. Louis. Call now to check your eligibility. It can be your daughter, son, a close relative, or trusted friend helping you with cooking, transportation, laundry, and other activities in your own home. You get the help you need, and your caregiver gets paid. Freedom Care has over 7,000 five-star Google reviews and is a leading choice in St. Louis for in-home care. If you have Medicaid and want to receive great care from a loved one, go to freedomcare.com, or for faster service, call 314-597-1749. 314-597-1749. That's 314-597-1749.
Freedom Care, we're here for you.
When you're injured on the job, you need more than just a workers' comp lawyer. When you need a fighter, you need us. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, for the people. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
At the Little Bit Foundation, their philosophy is simple: remove barriers to learning and empower under-resourced students to success in the classroom and beyond. Little Bit currently serves 17,000 students in 54 schools in the St. Louis metro area, including many impacted by the recent tornado. Join Together Credit Union in supporting the Little Bit Foundation's mission by contributing to their back-to-school drive at all 14 local branch locations during the month of July. For more information about the Little Bit Foundation and how you can support their mission, visit thelittlebitfoundation.org.
Tony LaRussa here. Has your loss of energy and weight gain thrown you a curveball in your relationship? If so, go see my friends over at Victory Men's Health. Discreet, first-class professionals will help you hit those curves out of the park. VictoryMen'sHealth.com. That's VictoryMen'sHealth.com.
Speeding while driving gives you less time to react. Another car could turn out in front of you. A pedestrian could be walking their dog. Follow the speed limit to keep them safe. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
Live, local, and conservative. It's the Annie Fry Show. 97.1 FM Talk.
All the small things, true care, truth brings. I'll take one lift, your ride, best trip, always.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. It's a pleasure to be with you this Thursday afternoon. I want to get directly to our guest, Hans von Spakovsky, back with us on this Thursday. He is the Senior Legal Fellow at the Heritage Foundation, former FEC Commissioner as well. Hans, such a pleasure to have you. We're so grateful to talk to you today on Zoom as well as over the air, of course. Yesterday, Tulsi Gabbard takes to the podium in the press room, and this is where I hand it over to you, Hans. What did that statement that she made mean to you?
It means that one of the most dangerous events inside the executive branch of the federal government happened in our entire history, which was that intelligence reports were falsified under the direction of the president with the cooperation of the head of national intelligence, the FBI, and other high officials. Why? For political purposes, to target the incoming administration, the incoming president, and to do everything they could to handicap his administration. Look, we've had a lot of scandals in American history, but I don't think we've ever had a situation like this. It is extremely dangerous. It's the kind of thing that happens, frankly, in third world countries.
Man, you might call it a constitutional crisis. Hans von Spakovsky speaking with us. So we've been threatened with those so much, but it's weird that getting Donald Trump into office has caused us to expose those on the other side potentially. It seems to me that there is some sloppiness that took place with Obama, with the intelligence community, to allow something like this to be discovered. Unless you felt like Donald Trump would never get back into office, or if you felt like you had the deep state so on lockdown that they'd be able to protect this information, do you think they were sloppy, or maybe the people in there right now are just determined enough to get to the bottom of it?
Well, I think they were sloppy, and I think they believed that this would never be discovered, because look, it wasn't disclosed during the first term of Trump. You know, the people that he had in office obviously did not dig into the depths of the communications and other things going on. It's only now in the second term that they have actually dug into this to find this and disclose it. And let me tell you, whether or not a criminal prosecution can be done after all these years, I think that's actually kind of doubtful, even though it should have happened. But this disclosure is important because every individual who was involved in this should never, ever be allowed to hold a position in the government ever again. And they need to figure out what kind of safeguards should be put in place in law enforcement and in our intelligence agencies to make sure this can't happen again.
Hans, you bring up the point. I think we need to manage expectations across the board, that this information, it seems like we want some butts, or it's just everyone's just going to get away with everything. Like, these are the only two outcomes. The truth will probably lie somewhere in the middle of that. Do you anticipate anybody being arrested, facing jail time for what is done?
The biggest problem they've got is the statute of limitations. Most federal crimes have a 5-year statute of limitations. This all happened, remember, in end of 2016, beginning of 2017, which is more than 5 years. The way to get around that is to argue to a court that they hid it. You know, if you hide something, then that can what they call toll or stop the statute of limitations from running. The other thing they can try to claim if they want to criminally prosecute is to say that, well, it started in 2016 and 2017, but that all these different parties, Brennan, Clapper, Comey, continue to take steps to make sure this conspiracy went forward and was hidden. And therefore, it also kept the statute of limitations from running. The biggest crime they potentially face, by the way, is perjury, because as you know, folks like Brennan testified before Congress and denied anything like this had happened. And the other potential crime is what's called obstruction of an official proceeding, which includes destroying or falsifying government documents. And the evidence is that they falsified intelligence reports. So those are the crimes they could be prosecuted for.
Is there, does presidential immunity, official acts, that type of executive power extend to any of the things that Barack Obama did or that his associates did?
Yeah, folks who are hoping that Barack Obama will be criminally prosecuted, that's just not going to happen. Because remember, when Jack Smith, the special counsel, went after Donald Trump, tried to criminally prosecute him, that case went all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court. And the U.S. Supreme Court came back and said, presidents have immunity from criminal prosecution for actions they take within the scope of their presidential duties. Now, you can try to argue that what Obama did was not within the scope of his official duties because it was obviously politics. But trying to argue that in a court and trying to convince a court that they should override the presumptive presidential immunity, that I would figure a case like that would have almost no chance of succeeding.
We're speaking with Hans von Spakovsky, Senior Legal Fellow at the Heritage Foundation. I want to know about if any of this were to go to trial. And what I hear you saying is that might not be the path that some of this goes down. It might be more of investigations, committee hearings, that type of thing. Right. But if it were to go to trial, at least when the roles were reversed and Joe Biden was the president and Donald Trump was the defendant in a host of different places, it seemed like it mattered very, very much where the court case was going to be filed, the districts, the judges, and everything. Is the Trump administration or the Trump Department of Justice up against it as well because these would have to be filed in D.C.? How does that work?
The answer to that, unfortunately, is yes. District of Columbia, the nation's capital, the judges are overwhelmingly Democratic appointees. The juries are overwhelmingly Democratic. I mean, I don't exaggerate if I tell you that if a Republican in this town, Republican politician is prosecuted for jaywalking, a jury in this town would love to sentence them to 5 years in prison for. If you're a Democrat and you commit the most egregious crimes, getting a Democratic jury in this town to convict you is very difficult. I know that's I know it's frustrating.
We want the truth.
It upsets people, but that's one of the problems with the District of Columbia.
Hans, I've got a couple people commenting as they're watching on the Annie Fry YouTube channel, of course, listening on 97.1 as well. Some people are suggesting that they haven't seen any evidence that the intelligence community falsified anything. They're saying they had high confidence. Another person says falsified or interpreted differently. So based on the information Tulsi Gabbard, the director of national intelligence, presented yesterday, is it open to interpretation whether or not President Obama thought that an initial report was open to interpretation?
No, I think folks are wrong about that, because what the intelligence reports that are done by the career people said was that there was no evidence that there was some kind of collusion between the Trump campaign and the Russian government. And remember, that was the crux of the claims that were made. Also, even though everyone admitted the Russians were trying to meddle in the election, the intelligence analysts also said that the Russians actually had not had the capability to actually successfully hack or otherwise change or really do anything significant, or even not that significant in the election. That's what those analysts said. That's what the initial intelligence reports said. And yet all of a sudden, Clapper, the president, others said, well, I don't like that conclusion. You need to change it. They didn't have any other intelligence on which to base telling those analysts to change that. So anyone who says that, oh, this doesn't really show any wrongdoing, I'm sorry, but that's just not right.
Yeah, that's a political choice on the interpreter there. Is there evidence that was presented yesterday that suggests that Russia, because we were told that Russia had intelligence information that the government possessed that they decided to hold back, and it was damning to Hillary Clinton. Do we know anything more now who Russia would have preferred to have won that election, or who they were preparing to have won that election?
Well, I don't know who they would have preferred, but we do know that from a lot of declassified documents that foreign agents, which I'm sure included Russia, did get access to the unsecured server that she set up in a closet in her house, and through which she ran all her official email communications at the State Department. She should have been prosecuted for that. Other folks who have worked for the government have been prosecuted for much lesser stupid actions like that when it comes to classified information. And it was clearly a political decision by Comey to not prosecute her for that. In fact, listen, there was a prior case years ago in which the former head of the CIA was prosecuted because he took classified materials to his home.
Right. He
entered into a plea agreement rather than have to go to court. So the idea that she couldn't be prosecuted for this, I mean, that was a political decision. It was not one based on the law and the facts.
Hans, last question before we let you go, because we've kind of established here that if everyone's holding their breath until they see all of these people in orange jumpsuits, that's not going to end well for those individuals. Is it possible that the revelation that we have with this new information, plus other information that is possibly to come out in addition to it, is it possible to still make a remarkable difference in how our government functions in the future, that it can still be used in a way to improve the safety, the security, and the honesty and integrity that it exists in our intelligence agencies, our Department of Justice, without seeing those culprits sitting in a jail cell?
The answer to that is yes. And if you doubt that, just look back at history. Remember, in the early 1970s, after similar revelations about bad things that our intelligence agencies had done, there were a series of hearings held in Congress that led to massive reforms of our intelligence agencies. Now, some people argue that some of those were not good, but that's an example of what ought to be done here. We need this disclosure so that we can figure out what kind of reforms need to be put in place today to make sure this doesn't happen again, that no president, I don't care which party they are, uses our intelligence agencies for political targeting.
Amen to that. Hans, I was excited that we had you on the show the day after Tulsi Gabbard's comments at the White House. Thank you for being here with us today. We're gonna be bringing it up. Russia is what we've been talking about the whole time we've been talking. It's been a decade.
Right.
It's been pretty crazy. Thanks for being with us here today.
Sure. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Bye-bye. Hans von Spakovsky is the senior legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation, former FEC commissioner and DOJ lawyer. He also is host of Case in Point, the legal show for regular people, which is basically what we try to have him do here. It's great to have Hans back. All right, let's take a quick break. I want to kind of discuss this YouTube poll today. People are questioning if Russiagate or the Epstein story are cover-ups at all. Are they cover-ups for each other? A lot of political angling going on around. It's interesting to see who has an elected position of power who, instead of talking about the actual issue, is talking about the idea of a cover-up. Let's discuss when we come back. Don't go away.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon for Generator Supercenter of St. Louis. And you know, your home is your sanctuary. You need to take the first step to peace of mind with a free estimate on a Generac home standby generator from the #1 Generac generator dealer in the country, Generator Supercenter. We learned the hard way here in St. Louis during the tornado recently that power can be knocked out. But even outside of that, what if the power grid fails and it's 100 degrees here in St. Louis? You don't want to be that person. Get with Generator Supercenter of St. Louis today. Generator Supercenter of St. Louis.com. Tell them that we sent you along.
Mark Cox here. Let me introduce you to my friends at the Lit Cigar Lounge in St. Louis, where luxury meets comfort. Premium hand-rolled cigars, an extensive selection of rare bourbons and whiskeys and craft cocktails. It's comfortable for non-smokers, too. They have a state-of-the-art ventilation system. They have private lockers and live music every Friday night, perfect for date nights or business meetings or just winding down. Visit litstl.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Story Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Story Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Land Story Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit lance.drurylaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
The YouTube live chat poll today is asking, is Russiagate a cover-up for Epstein, or is Epstein a cover-up for Russiagate? You have a few options there. Let us know what you think about this topic. It is 12:37. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Still leading. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
of an issue for the president if, this has actually split MAGA in many ways. In some ways, it's the first real example we've seen of that.
Well, I think you've seen the sort of influencer, self-described influencer salon here basically in Washington that's completely spun up about it. The surveys I see of regular voters say that they're a whole lot more worried about can they afford a house? Are mortgage rates too high? What's going to happen with the economy? What's going to happen with trade? I think that the president's right to try to refocus attention on that because I think voters do care about it more. But you're correct that the talk radio influencers, the clickbait influencers, those people, they think this is right for profit.
I just reached out to a whole bunch of our Trump voters from our All Over the Map project. And you're right, actually. You're right. None of them said they're turning on the president. And they all say costs, the economy are way more important to them. But they also say this smells. They also say this smells and they want to know why. And they think they're hiding something. You may be exactly right. We'll see. And what matters a year from now matters a whole lot more than now about the political impact. But a lot of these people are Trump voters, not necessarily Republican voters. And so do they show up in the midterms? And it could be the tiniest little thing on the margins, as we learn in every one of our elections. So they do. I agree with you that it might not be the most important thing to your everyday Trump voter out there, but it's still important. And they think they're being lied to.
That's CNN talking about the Epstein stuff. When we were covering that earlier, did you feel like the Epstein story, Ryan, when Donald Trump was talking about it, to rub you the wrong way when he was like, stop talking about it. If you support me, you will do what I say. If you're not with me, then you're against me.
Yeah, it was
my words,
a swing
not
and
his,
a miss.
but pretty close.
Yeah, it was bad. It was the worst thing he's done. Well, other than my issues with the budget, that to me is the biggest miss he's had so far.
That didn't last a week. And he was directing Pam Bondi to release more information, the grand jury stuff, which a Florida judge actually struck down. There are apparently 2 places that can or need to. I don't know if they both needed to or if one can do it or the other, if they're different sets of testimonies. But there are 2 places, New York and Florida, I believe, and the Florida judge said, no, you're not releasing. They put a block on releasing those grand jury testimonies from the Florida case where Epstein was tried, and my understanding is he had a plea deal. The allegation is, and the Wall Street Journal reported yesterday, that Donald Trump was informed at the end of May that his name is in the Epstein files. I personally do not believe that Donald Trump ever did anything nefarious at all with Jeffrey Epstein or any of Epstein's cohorts. And it's rich to me that just even the breadcrumb, the little teeny tiny carrot that is dangled out there that says his name is in there is enough to make a lot of people on the left say that there is a massive cover-up with the Epstein story. What makes sense to me, and this is just me reading the tea leaves and probably being wrong about it, is that Donald Trump's name has always been associated with Jeffrey Epstein. They are in photos together. Epstein was at Mar-a-Lago. Donald Trump flew on his plane intracontinentally.
Mm-hmm.
Better said, he didn't leave the country. He didn't go to the island. There's no records of Donald Trump going to the island. That they were in the same circles, that they did business or were among the same business people, but Donald Trump had a distaste for Jeffrey Epstein, and Donald Trump booted him out of Mar-a-Lago for being inappropriate with the young women who worked at Mar-a-Lago. And there is an investigator in Florida who has testified that when it came time with that Florida case to investigate Jeffrey Epstein and what he did, Donald Trump made himself readily available and said, anything you need, let me know and I will help you. Because he thought that Epstein was a scumbag. I don't really think that that's something that a person who was going to get busted if stuff was uncovered, that's something that they would do, is insert them into that situation. But I don't know. I haven't seen the documents. Neither have you. So everybody who's out there saying Donald Trump, they basically are saying, they're trying to allege that essentially Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein did everything hand in hand, like Donald Trump is now on par with Jeffrey Epstein. And there is zero evidence that suggests that Donald Trump has ever done anything even remotely near the type of stuff that Jeffrey Epstein was in trouble for. They were in the same place at the same time. I think that sucks. You know, I've been in the same place with some pretty trashy people in my life. If we had a photograph taken together, you know, just this teeny tiny bit of public figure life that I live. If we go to an event, I take pictures with people. I don't know who those people are. If I do know them as maybe people who are prominent in the communities that we're representing, there are a lot of reasons why photos get taken with other people. Donald Trump does know Jeffrey Epstein. They were in the same places together. They did fly together, but there is zero evidence that has been made public to you or to me that says that he's guilty of these types of things. Now, we've known for a long time that his name is on that list, and there are a lot of people who are on that list who didn't do anything wrong. What an ace in the hole it would be from an incredibly corrupt intelligence community all the way up to Barack Obama. Why would Joe Biden be any different? Oh, because he wouldn't know what was going on, because he had AutoPen taking care of the presidency while he was on Ambien, not paying attention to the actual work of the presidency, according to Hunter Biden at least. Is it too far of a stretch to think that the Epstein files would have been tampered with so that when President Trump got back into office, and we've been shouting about this as Trump supporters, release the files, tell us everything about Jeffrey Epstein. Donald Trump won a campaign where it was no secret. Ask all the Trump supporters, what do you think about the Jeffrey Epstein stuff? Release it all. Hang him in the streets. You know, if you're a child abuser, maximum sentence. That's almost 100% issue for Trump supporters. So what do you do if you're a corrupt intelligence community? You change the files so that when Donald Trump gets back in there and they're like, let's release a file, they're like, oh man, I know that's not accurate. Again, this is just me reading tea leaves. I don't know that this happened, but this is kind of what I feel like happened. They got there and they realized that information in those files was corrupt. Here's the other thing. If you come out and, because my first inclination is to say, tell everybody they're corrupt. Tell them you know they're corrupt. Figure out how to prove that you weren't where they said that you were somehow or another. Prove that they're corrupt. If you start saying that everything that the intelligence community has had since certain people were in place is now corrupt, how does anything else that they're doing stand? If the community was corrupt and you can show that there is reasonable doubt that the information coming out of this intelligence community is accurate and not fraudulent, everything goes up in smoke. It's such a tightrope to walk. Now, with all that being said, if Donald Trump is listed in these files and he's not implicated on any actual wrongdoing, just maybe like poor judgment because he was in the same place with Jeffrey Epstein at the same time, that's not a crime. If he is not implicated for any wrongdoing, then I want to see, then give us the information. We can handle it. The American people trust Donald Trump now way more than they trust the bureaucracy. And I think that's going to continue going on. So do you think Russiagate is some sort of issue that's being used to cover up Donald Trump's connection to Epstein? Do you think that the Epstein story is something that, because you see the left coming out quite a bit and saying, we want the files, let's subpoena, let's make sure everything comes out, we want everything. Why is Donald Trump not wanting to release these now? Are they trying to make that a big story because they don't want to be implicated in the Russiagate situation? Or is all that conspiratorial nonsense and people use it to entertain themselves and they need to get a hobby? Either or. Annie Fry YouTube channel, come vote. Wiggins America. Habits that make you instantly likable.
Yep. So if people hate
self-help?
you, by 1 o'clock, that's going to change for you.
It's a big day.
Yeah, it's a big day for
It's
you.
a really big day for you. Thanks for tuning into our show. Ryan's going to help you out here next. Don't go away. Home Shield Foundation Repairs.com. Uneven concrete that becomes more and more unlevel, disjointed, trip hazard, Safety hazard. Also, it's ugly. You want to get rid of that. Make sure that you know the right people to call. I know the right people to call. Matt Hayes. He owns Home Shield Foundation Repair. He's from right here. He's worked in the business a long time, but this is like a specialty of his, so much so that he became the right person for the job. People keep calling him to do this stuff, and Home Shield Foundation Repair that's what this is developed into. And he's been doing this for so long. So when you call to get polyjacking to take care of that uneven concrete in at your home, at your business, use that polyurethane foam, goes underneath the concrete, raises it up, comes with a 5-year warranty. You are going to get experience. That's what matters. And it's a much more cost-effective way than having to replace that concrete. That local family-owned business at 314-227-9636. 314-227-9636. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
Mark Cox doesn't fake it. He's lived it here in St. Louis. Pro-freedom, pro-family, pro-truth. If it matters to Missouri, it matters to Mark. Mark Cox, mornings on 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis conservative.
Have you been notified that your subsidy for Obamacare health insurance is going away? Well, you can leave now while you are still healthy and can qualify for much better individual plans. Greg Hammonds at greghammonds.com has been helping people get affordable health insurance with great coverage for over 35 years. Greg offers private health insurance plans that are not on the ACA marketplace. You can pick your doctors. For most claims, you won't even pay a deductible, and they're 30 to 60% lower cost than Obamacare. One more thing, there's no tax penalty at the end of the year. Greg even has plans that are guaranteed acceptance. If you pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call Greg at 314-794-7784. That's 314-794-7784. Or go to greghammonds.com. That's greghammonds.com. He can custom design a plan by you, not the government.
Now, back to the Annie Fry Show. Real talk for real people. 97.1 FM Talk.
Splish splash, I was taking a bath. Long about a Saturday night. Yeah. Rubbed up just
Wiggins!
Wiggins!
All right.
Ryan's words to live by. Are you good at these things?
These things make you likable?
The advice that you're going to give. Are you already in practice?
Well, I don't know. I kind of mixed bag. I think I'm probably good at some of these, but generally speaking, I'm good at the best ones.
Is humility one of them?
No, it's not on here. Number one, these are things that are going to make you instantly likable.
Okay.
So listen up if people absolutely hate your guts. Number one, smile. Would it hurt you to smile?
Oh my gosh, this is so true. People don't smile. RBF is a thing. Resting witch face.
Which does not start with a B.
It does on this show.
Got it.
When you're if you I will. This is like creepy to say this, but I will try to walk around with like a pleasant smile on my face, and it's something I'm having to tell myself to do. It doesn't come naturally.
Okay.
But if you do that, people are nicer to you.
Yes, they are, because they think you're happy to see them, even though you hate them.
No. I don't know. It's not.
No?
It's not hatred.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just thinking about a million other things, and it makes my face look like this. Rah! It's not
Not
good.
anymore. Not anymore.
No,
now you
because
look
I walk
like
around
this.
like this.
Oh, wow.
What does that look sound like? We
Just
heard
like
the
what-
roar.
That's what I just did.
What?
It sounds like this.
Okay.
Yeah, like this. This is me talking with
What's
a smile.
what's the face that matches the corn sound that you made last week?
It's a gruff sort of growl.
No, I mean, like, what's the face that matches
Yeah.
it?
It's great radio.
Yeah, I don't know what you.
Show us your face.
Thanks, Ethan.
So it's just in general smile.
In general, and it's the number one tip on here.
Yeah, that's a real thing. It will make this is some psychologist told me this one time. But when you smile, you become happier.
Okay.
So I do that for myself, and it genuinely does make me feel happier.
I think I used to smile more. I think the older I get, the less I smile.
That's why the smile looks a little more like like I'm just here showing my teeth, is rather than my so grit.
Like a little kid smile.
I am so happy right now.
Did your kids ever do that?
I've never been
Take a
happier.
picture when you're smiling when they're 2 years old and they just go,
Yes.
They think that's smiling. And it's not.
Well, and what you do is you say you're going to take a picture and they're smiling real cute, and then when they think you're getting ready to take the picture, then they do the teeth grit thing. So you just have to take it before they do that.
Yeah, you got to
And also, folks, candid photos are better. Go on.
Number 2 is showing up, and showing up on time.
Mm-hmm.
Giving people the respect of, mainly at this point, they're saying ghosting is so common that just showing up or saying that you're not going to be there
Who's
is
ghosting?
courteous.
Just kids these days?
Kids, anybody on Facebook Marketplace, ever.
This is not what kindness is about. That's about transactions.
But it's true. You got to show up and do so on time, which shows respect and makes people like you because you're valuing them.
Yeah.
Number 3, embracing when the joke is on you.
Oh, for sure.
Who do you think's really good at this?
You.
I could say that I'm
Ethan?
good at it or I'm really bad at it. I don't know which. Because sometimes I don't get it.
Well, see, there's a difference between truly, genuinely living in that moment and understanding. I think we're all having a good faith, good time, and the other side where it's really good radio. Which I think that we toe that line well here. We poke fun at each other, but we care about each other.
That's easy
It's
to
a
say
weird
when you're the
hesitation,
person who
but-
dishes it out mostly.
Yeah, I know. I was saying that. Go on. Let me have it.
Oh, no. I think that you do a fine job. I just don't think that you consider those around you very well. Number 5, I skipped number 4 because it was making eye contact. And anytime I say that one, it's weird because then we all start looking at each other and thinking about it. And I don't want to do that. Number 5, admitting your mistakes.
Big.
Believe it or not, most people are hanging on to things that they should just admit and get past them because the other person already knows that you're hanging on to it.
But Ryan, what if you never make mistakes? Then what?
Annie, I don't know. Can you speak to that?
I make a ton of mistakes. I've made mistakes in this show already. I think the worst thing is the defensive nature. Like, if you're trying to rectify a mistake, it's something that like kids have to grow out of. But if your initial reaction to a mistake is first to be defensive, it's like, at least in a professional setting, or if you've got a good relationship with somebody and you're trying to work together towards an end goal, if the defensive thing comes into play right away, it's just like, okay, let's just get past this. This is an attack, but we need to keep moving forward in a productive way. It's not necessary, but you have to be working with people who are not going to be super upset about the mistake more than they want to get the job done right.
Have you ever met people who also will admit to a mistake right away, but also assume that means that they're free of it? Like right away, they're like, that was me. And you're like, yeah, but that was a problem. You can't just say that was me and then everybody moves on. No looking around the room at that one, please.
No eye contact.
I don't know, Ethan. I don't know anybody like that.
No,
Do you?
not a soul.
No?
No one in this room for sure.
Dr. Marc Siegel next. Don't go away.
Big news for gun owners. Mark Cox here for the Range St. Louis West. You know, the big, beautiful bill eliminates the $200 tax stamp on suppressors next January, but the Range is celebrating right now. They're holding a sweepstakes for a new suppressor at the Range. The Range will give you a $300 credit toward the new suppressor, and they'll pay for the tax stamp. Suppressors protect your hearing, and they improve your accuracy. Sign up to win at therangestl.com/971 before August 15th.
If you've been injured in a trucking accident in St. Louis, you need attorneys who live here and work here. We know the STL and fight for the STL. You need Kaufman Townsley. Real people, real results. Call 314-500-5000.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how linking to the market is much safer than owning the market for your retirement savings. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go to retirementkey.com.
We, without hesitation, recommend that anybody work with ThrottleNet. The experience will be as good as it's been for us, for anybody, because you'll get a true partnership and you'll be able to rest easy that you're going to get the service that you need while they're also also doing all those things that you don't want to have to think about, that you don't want to have to worry about. They're always doing that in the background for you.
Don't wait for your next IT crisis. If your business depends on technology, you need a partner that's got your back. Contact ThrallNet.com to get a free IT evaluation and see how we can support your IT everything.
Your home sold guaranteed, or I'll buy it. Hi, I'm Gloria Liu, broker owner at Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. And for over 20 years, I've been getting my home sellers the most money for their home and selling faster than the average agent. So when you're ready to sell your home or have questions, call me.
For years now, I've been telling you about my friend and trusted realtor, Gloria Liu, and why you should call. Hey, it's Mark Cox. Fact is, when I needed to sell my home, my only call was to Gloria Liu, and she delivered. Gloria exceeded our expectations, and that's why I strongly recommend you call, especially in this shifting market. No matter what happens, you're guaranteed to sell your home at 100% of market value, or Gloria will pay the difference. Call today. Get an upfront written guarantee and start packing. Sell with certainty and for 100% of market value, or Gloria will pay you the difference. Call 314-325-6888 or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. That's GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date. Hey, it's Mark Reardon with news for listeners who, like me, want to learn more about Bitcoin. Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club is coming to St. Louis later this summer. The Bitcoin Ben Crypto Clubs teach members what Bitcoin is, how to buy it, how to safely store it, and how to avoid scams. And we'll connect with others like us who want to learn more about crypto. St. Louis will be the 7th club nationwide and Ben's hometown. If you want to know more about Bitcoin, you need to know Bitcoin Ben. Learn more at bitcoinben.io. That's bitcoinben.io.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app.
Police in Florida just holding a briefing on the death of Hulk Hogan. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. First responders in Clearwater answering a cardiac arrest call at Hogan's home just before 10 this morning.
It was discovered at that time Terry Bollea, also known as Hulk Hogan, was experiencing a serious medical-related issue.
Clearwater Police Major Nate Burnside says he was pronounced dead at the hospital. No signs of foul play, but they are conducting a death investigation as part of standard procedure. Hogan was an iconic figure in pop culture, the wrestling legend appearing in movies and TV, last year campaigning for President Trump. He had been recovering from recent neck surgery. Hulk Hogan was 71. Also, we're just getting word that Chuck Mangione has died. Best known for that 70s hit, Feel So Good. But the two-time Grammy winner made more than 30 albums. A spokesperson confirming to People magazine today that he died Tuesday in his sleep at home. Chuck Mangione was 84. A deputy U.S. Attorney General, Todd Blanche, visiting a Florida courthouse today to meet with Ghislaine Maxwell, the convicted co-conspirator of the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
It's happening at the courthouse in Tallahassee. This is not far from the prison where Maxwell is serving a 20-year sentence behind bars. Again, what's being discussed, we don't know. The Justice Department not commenting about any of the meeting details.
Fox's David Spud. This as the Justice Department also seeks to unseal grand jury records from 3 Epstein-related cases. One judge already denying that motion in Florida. The Attorney General faced criticism after a DOJ memo that no further investigation or prosecutions were warranted. America is listening to Fox News.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eloquist.com or call 1-855-ELOQUIS.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
It is the hardcore feel of summer going through our Thursday afternoon. Partly sunny, hot and humid. 99 today, the heat index 108. Warm and humid tonight, 77. 80 plus for the city. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, partly sunny, hot and humid. Each day, though, could bring some spot afternoon thunderstorms. 95 Friday, 97 Saturday, 98 on Sunday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live, sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Air Comfort Service is proud to support Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Sign your veteran up for the Honor Flight today at gslhonorflight.org. And for HVAC services, visit aircomfortservice.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
You need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Welcome back. So today we got some really sad news this morning. Pro wrestling icon Hulk Hogan dead at 71. It's certainly been covered on the news quite a bit. A lot of news alerts sent out about that as well. Ryan, were you into wrestling as a kid? Was that a thing?
No, I wasn't. I had a lot of friends that were. And I even had some of the action figures because my friends did. Junkyard Dog and some of these rando names, but I wasn't really super into it.
Well, everybody knew Hulk Hogan.
Oh, yeah.
That is certain. And he had a bit of a resurgence in this last year of life, and it's a sad thing to hear that he has passed. Real quick, I want to play this clip from Carolyn Levitt from last week. She was speaking from the White House podium, and let's listen to what she said about President Trump.
The president underwent a comprehensive examination, including diagnostic vascular studies. Bilateral lower extremity venous Doppler ultrasounds were performed and revealed chronic venous insufficiency, a benign and common condition.
So Carolyn Levitt speaking about President Trump and this condition that he has. We are excited to have Dr. Marc Siegel on the show with us. Of course, a senior medical analyst for Fox News, clinical professor of medicine, and a practicing internist at NYU Langone Medical Center. Also, I watched on Outnumbered today. Doctor, thanks for fitting us into your busy schedule this afternoon.
Oh, really great to be on with you, Annie. I'm a fan of your show. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. I wanted to give you the opportunity to comment on the information that was provided after some photographs captured the swollen ankles of President Trump and some bruising on his hands. What kind of concern do you have as a medical professional about this information?
None, given the information that accompanied it. You know, there was a lot of disclosure there, the kind of detail I felt was completely missing from Biden's administration. Like, regarding the hands, you know, elderly people can have friable tissue of the hands, and you can have capillary leakage, especially if you shake a lot of hands and if you're on aspirin like he is. Aspirin interferes with platelet function and can lead to more bruising. So I think they went out on a limb using that as the explanation if it was something more serious than that. I mean, you know, the thing that the Biden administration was expert at was obfuscation, not direct lying. I mean, I don't know how they would have handled a direct question with Biden, like, does he have prostate cancer, or, you know, they seemed to be skirting around things. This was a very direct, hey, this is what it is. Here's the information. We got leg swelling, but here's what we did. We ruled out a blood clot. In two ways, by a sound wave test and by a blood test. There's no blood clot. We looked at his heart. His heart's functioning perfectly. It's not heart failure, backup from the heart. We looked at his kidney and liver via blood tests. They're normal. So they basically ruled out everything other than what it is, which is a superficial venous problem that's very common in the elderly, especially when people are on their feet all day long, is treated with elevating your legs, which he probably will never do, or or compression stockings, which he will probably never do, or they can do a cosmetic procedure with a laser that actually fixes it or makes it more, less uncomfortable. But the point is, they went through much detail to reassure the American public that it's not a large problem, that it's more of a cosmetic one.
You've been probably watching with a very educated position from afar, presidents and their health, and watching what they do and noticing things, as I'm sure you notice with people everywhere you go. Do you feel as though the Trump administration might have not overshared, but been very willing to come out and have so much clarity in what they're reporting than maybe Barack Obama, if he would have had some sort of condition like this? Do you feel like there was an effort that had a little bit to do with the lack of transparency of the prior administration?
There's an enormous history of obfuscation and denial of presidential health that goes back to George Washington. And it's almost a culture that changed more recently with the yearly physical. But, Woodrow Wilson had a stroke in office. He was whispering instructions to his wife. He had Spanish flu right before the Treaty of Versailles was signed, which is why Germany got punished so severely, because Wilson was going to defend them. That led to the uprising of the Nazis. You had FDR. Who knows why he went for that last term? He probably switched to Truman knowing that he wasn't going to survive the term. He had severely high blood pressure. He had heart disease, died of a stroke. Uncontrolled high blood pressure. I don't know what we had to treat in those days. Eisenhower was having heart attacks in office. Reagan, lost a lot of his blood when he was shot, and that didn't surface. Nixon, before Watergate, was on all kinds of medications, mood stabilizers. That didn't come out. I mean, I can go on and on here. The thing is that I thought we had turned the corner on that because Bush was pretty revealing of his health. Bush 41, if you recall, there was Halcyon Gate, but he was pretty revealing of his health, and 43 was in great health. And to your question about Obama, I don't know what would have happened because I think Obama was in great health. So I don't know what would have happened if he wasn't. But clearly Biden wasn't, and they did everything under the sun to keep us from knowing it. And for me, full disclosure of presidential health is an important part of our democracy. Not everyone sees it that way. Certainly the handlers don't.
Sure. Yeah, everything is political first, of course, so it's about messaging. This would be no different. I did want to ask you, I followed politics very closely. I'm into it. It's like a nerd thing for me and always has been, so I'm blessed to do what I do here. But when it comes to conservative politics, the addition to RFK Jr. and the Maha movement is kind of an eye-opener for me. Dr. Marc Siegel speaking with us right now. I have 4 kids, and I have been trying to feed them the right things their whole life because I grew up in the 80s and the 90s. I don't even know if I ate food until organic food started to be mainstream. We now see a story earlier this week, Coca-Cola to launch new product with cane sugar this fall following Trump push. I'm wondering how excited you are for all of these announcements from these big companies who are making this decision. They're not being forced to do it. They're choosing to do it. If you see any danger in people being like, oh, cane sugar is good, and then, thinking that Coca-Cola is now a healthy option, just wondered your thoughts on that.
I think that Trump is not saying that cane sugar is healthy. He's saying that cane sugar is healthier. And he's saying that if you're going to drink a Coke, this is the Coke you should drink. Because high fructose corn syrup is directly connected to ultra-processed foods. It doesn't remember the corn stalk, is what I like to say, but a cane sugar remembers the cane, the sugar cane. I don't like any added sugar. I think you should be getting your sugar from fruit and vegetables, not from Coca-Cola with sugar in it. But I think it tastes better. I think it's more natural, and I think it's part of the process of getting the fake stuff out. High fructose corn syrup is definitely directly connected to obesity. Is drinking Coca-Cola made with cane sugar? Sure. Also unhealthy. But again, the unhealthy movement is about processed foods and chemicals. And so I'm for this move, provided that it's accompanied with this information. This is more natural, but it's got the same number of calories.
Dr. Siegel, this is Ryan Wiggins. The changes that are being announced by these mega food corporations, is this kind of the low-hanging fruit, or is this stuff that is actually like a step in the right direction?
Step in the right direction, because it's being done voluntarily, which is really interesting. If you put it on the label, warning, 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 like in Europe, that has a different impact. But, right now we're in a climate of can we do this voluntarily and keep the competition going. So in other words, we want a free market system, but the message now is it ain't sexy to eat these chemicals. It looks like it's from outer space. Maybe it belongs in outer space. So it's all about addiction, and I think sugar addiction is the key. So if you have something that looks outlandish, but it's connected with sugar, you don't get you may get psychologically addicted to the color, but you're getting physically addicted to the sugar that accompanies it. So I think that you can have breakfast cereals, but they need to look a little more bland than this and be healthier. And, a lot of those companies had already started in that direction themselves, to be fair. Kraft Heinz had made mac and cheese without artificial colors way back, years ago, and also Heinz ketchup. So I think some are adding to the bandwagon now, but I think it's very encouraging that it's voluntary. I think the resistance of Mars and M&Ms is wrong. I think maybe they know exactly what I'm saying here, that people are buying M&Ms because they have a certain look and they're afraid of that look being lost. But that's wrong.
Dr. Marc Siegel, one last question real quick before we let you go. We started this segment here. We talked a little bit about Hulk Hogan, who passed away at 71. So it doesn't seem like this is something that people expected. I just wanted to know if you wanted to comment on that death. Should it be untimely?
Well, because he's the picture of vitality, and he's the picture of strength and wit and youth and fitness. Even at 71, it was like he was ageless. And, he had several operations. I don't know why he had the neck fusion, the spinal fusion. I don't know if that's what happened, if there was a complication. There's rumors about that. Did he have a complication of the surgery? Don't forget, in the 80s, it was well known that he was, one of the steroid users. And pro wrestlers typically have a short lifespan. So this isn't unusual, but it's something that's disheartening, but a lot of people remember him incredibly well.
Yeah, certainly. Vitality, I like that word. Dr. Marc Siegel, thank you for being with us. We really appreciate your expertise and your time.
Great to be on with you, Andy. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
You both. Bye-bye. Love talking to him. Gosh, it was like an added sugar conversation for one Ryan Wiggins.
It was a little bit of therapy for me because I am stopping added sugar during the week. I'm allowing myself to eat it on the weekends.
It's baby steps.
I don't think
exactly.
I don't think that you stop eating it on the week, though, Ryan.
I do.
I think that you don't eat candy.
No. I really am. I'm drinking Coke Zero or Dr. Pepper Zero, one of the two. They all
you
taste
don't know.
No, I don't.
Have you tried the zero sugar ones?
Yeah, that's what that is.
Like Pepsi products.
I did have a wild cherry Pepsi Zero that I thought was pretty darn good.
I think that the Pepsi products that are zero sugar are the best zero. I would way rather have Diet Coke than Coke Zero. I can't. Coke Zero tastes like pepper and ashtrays to me.
I can't figure out what I like because
I know people who really like Coke Zero. I'm just not one of them.
I've been mixing for the last 2 years. I've been mixing zero and regular together to try to wean myself off of regular soda. And now I'm there, and it's still it's just not as good. But I'm trying, and I'm succeeding. This is now, I think, week 4 of me doing this. So it's going well. I'm losing a little tiny bit of weight, mainly from my brain, I think.
I went to Infinite Vitality this morning. They were on the show yesterday, and I went this morning, and in like 3.5 weeks, I've lost 6 pounds. Excited about that. Got a few more to go.
I've lost less than that.
Well, it's because you don't have infinite vitality.
It's because my brain only weighs a total of 7 pounds, according to the kid from Jerry Maguire.
You subtract your brain from your weight and the show. Just kidding. It's not your brain we want, Ryan. It's your wit.
Don't. It's what I look like on camera. That's true.
That's exactly why you're on the radio. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, I'm going to ask you guys about this YouTube poll. There's a couple other stories that are surfacing here, including one that involves Ghislaine Maxwell. Do we say Ghislaine? Is that
Ghislaine?
But I hear both.
Well,
Ghislaine?
I say Ghislaine.
Potato.
I have no sugar cloud in my brain, so I think I'm probably right.
Oh, man. We'll get to the bottom of it next. Don't go away.
I
AirComfortService.com. Oh, man. Air Comfort is hopping right now because it is 172 degrees outside. What does it say right now? Real feel outside, 111. That's crazy. What?
95 is the actual temperature.
Real feel. I hope it's not like that in your home right now. Please, please, please. I didn't ask Air Comfort Service if I could do this, but I know Corey would want me to say this right now. If you have loved ones in the area that are on their own and you haven't checked in on them, make sure their AC is working correctly, because it can get super hot in an apartment, in a home. If that AC isn't working properly, if it's been working really hard overtime here lately, check on them. And if you need someone to come give it a look, you want Air Comfort Service because you can trust them. They're not going to take advantage of anybody. These are the right people for the job. All you got to do is give them a call. 314-513-0091. 314-513-0091. Check on your AC units. Make sure they're working well. If you need maintenance done, they can help you with that. AirComfortService.com.
Are you nearing retirement and don't know if you have enough money saved to retire? That is scary. Do you have a written retirement financial plan in place? Well, when it comes to retirement planning, the trusted team at Financial and Tax Architects are the best. They've helped people all over St. Louis retire with confidence. And that's what you want. You want to retire with confidence. Now, they offer a one-night, 2.5-hour adult education class called Retirement Planning 101. They hold these at colleges over the St. Louis area and in Illinois. No cost, no obligation, just learning. And at this class, you learn how to avoid costly mistakes, how to maximize your income, how to reduce taxes in retirement. So call them today, 314-888-5101, or visit fta-ria.com and take the first step toward a smarter retirement. 314-888-5101.
Speeding while driving gives you less time to react. Another car could turn out in front of you. A pedestrian could be walking their dog. Follow the speed limit to keep them safe. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
Family focused, faith filled, always on point. It's the Annie Fry Show.
Did you see the story about the Federal Reserve? What's the number off the top of my head? Like a $2.1 or $2.5 billion renovation?
2.5.
Yeah.
$2.5 billion renovation. And the Trump administration, they were going to send some staff over to check and see how it was going. And the people at the Fed were like, no, they're blocking it. And Trump goes, I'm coming at 3 p.m. today. He's going to the Federal Reserve.
Love it.
He's going to the place to check on the taxpayer dollar being used to like marbleize the Federal Reserve. Is there, I mean, this is like a metaphor, but it's actually real. Yeah. It's obnoxious. Don't you love that he's like, Dad's going to come by and check your room?
I love it. I love it when I saw this story, because that is such an egregious waste of money. $2.5 billion. I saw somebody post this the other day, and I had to fact check to see if this was true.
It looks like a B story.
But it does, because it's so much money. It's not building a new building. They're just renovating their offices.
Well,
listen to this stat. You could have built the Dallas Cowboys Stadium twice for the amount that they're spending on their office renovations. Unbelievable.
All we want is chairs.
We just want a couple of working chairs.
When I was out there in D.C. on my vacation, we took a tour around it, and the guy on the tour bus said they've literally taken the foundation out from underneath the building. There is no foundation for the Fed, which I kind of chuckled at myself. But they're
no moral foundation. That's for sure.
But there's just it's so ridiculous. $2.5 billion.
I can't fathom what you could do with that money, because it's so crazy that you can't. How could you spend that much on one building?
Realistically, though, if somebody gave you $5,000 right now, isn't that potentially, not too dramatically, but that could be somewhat life-changing money to just fall in your lap? Like that, you could pay off a debt. You could invest it in fixing something that hasn't been fixed that you've been putting off because it's just not money that you have.
Yeah.
Like the concept of money when we're talking about what happens in reality where we exist, and then you find out, Rand Paul's been doing it every Festivus for however many years he's been in office, talking about all the dumb things that we spend money on. Elon Musk goes to Washington, doges the place, does a great job, but it's still only like scratching the surface, hundreds of billions of dollars that he's able to pull back and claw back for the American people. And it's like, we just got rid of $9 billion, 9 point whatever rescissions package that defunded Planned Parenthood and NPR and PBS and something. There's talk that there's another rescissions package coming. And guess what that's going to defund? The Department of Education, certain parts of it.
I haven't heard that one yet.
Yeah, that's what's supposed to be coming up next. But you hear these numbers, and there's a lot of me that's just like, that's nothing. I mean, of course you have to start somewhere. And if it's money that shouldn't be spent, we should not be spending it. So I don't need to hear, we just cut $3 trillion from the budget. That's not gonna happen. Which is why I continue to push on people to trust that we have to grow the economy. Like, you can't cut your way out of this problem. You're gonna have to grow it, but you should also cut everywhere that you can. The fact that let me ask you this question: did you have a clean room when you were growing up?
No.
Was it on a scale of 0 to dumpster fire? How bad was your room growing up?
5. It wasn't terrible.
Kind of always within
an
hour or so of being able to take a little pride in it?
Like my office is now. It's not bad, but I got stuff everywhere because I always need stuff. So
disorganized to the eye, but maybe not to you.
Yes.
What about you, Brad?
My room was a disaster. My mom used the phrase "disaster area" is how she would describe the room. You would have to kind of like disaster. Yeah, you would have to wade through my room, so it was bad.
My room was always pristinely clean.
So you were a 1 on that scale.
No, that's a lie. I just wanted to see. I want my dad to text me and tell me what he just did. He's gonna be like, "What?" Just fell off his chair in the kitchen. No, my room was not clean.
Was it okay once you got past like the cockroaches?
I never had bugs.
Okay.
Wasn't a food person in my room. Okay. Just clothes, which is still to your point of like having stuff where it makes sense to you, but it doesn't look presentable to other people. Like, I right now have a series of clothes that you've talked about how much you wear jeans, one pair of jeans. I have a place in my bedroom right now where I put my clothes that I'm not ready to throw in the laundry, but I don't want to put something that I've worn in a drawer with my stuff that's really clean. Do you put your jeans away?
No, they are draped.
Yes, yeah. in the place that you put them.
In the place.
Like, it's chair. Like these jeans are still in the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they still got my belt on them now. Don't touch them.
That's how you know?
My keys are in the pocket.
Same.
Don't touch them.
Same.
Did you ever have your parent tell you needed to clean your room in order to go do something?
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
When I go to my parents' house, my childhood home, as a 41-year-old mother of 4, if I'm sitting in the family room, which is on the main level, and my bedroom was up the stairs immediately above the family room, when I hear my dad walk up those creaky old farmhouse stairs, I get stressed out. Because I know I'm cooked.
Still?
Yes. It's an exercise room now. It's not even a bedroom anymore.
That's amazing that you still have that reaction.
That sound is just like, sorry, Dad.
I still do that when summer starts because I used to work at golf courses and it was so hot all summer, but it was a good job but I hated it. I hated doing it. So the minute it started to get hot, I just go,
and then you're like,
still do it.
I don't have to. I remember one time, long time ago, when Katie was still on the show. I think she's the one who talked about the Sunday scaries.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Did you learn that from her that same time that I did?
Probably.
Are you familiar with the
Sunday
scaries? Like the idea that Sunday you start freaking out about what's to come Monday. Like, I will still every once in a while on Sunday have a, did I do my homework? It's not like that direct of a thought, but it's the feeling, oh no. And then, and truthfully, and I'm saying this to you as a listener of this show, it is the greatest pleasure to come here the next day at noon and do the show. It is not just, no, I don't have to study for a test or do homework. It's, I get to come into work, which is a wild, wild blessing. But I still every once in a while have that feeling on Sunday. This is like, oh no. Now I'm watching my kids have it, and I'm like, suckers. Just kidding.
And now your dad is Donald Trump at the Fed.
That's exactly the point there.
And they're all going, oh, no, he's coming up the stairs.
They hear Donald Trump walking down. Is that, is it Pennsylvania? I think it is. Is it Pennsylvania?
I don't know.
Constitution?
The Fed building is?
Yeah.
I want Donald Trump to walk towards the Fed the same way that he walked in front of the church through Lafayette Park, and I want him to hold up a Bible outside the Fed.
Yeah. Right side up.
Just it's the worst part of it. I loved that moment.
I know.
loved that he did
know.
that. There were people, I remember listening to people react to that who were conservatives or whatever on the air at the time who thought it was just kind of a photo op or whatever. But he went to the church where these losers were vandalizing it, and he represented the most powerful man on earth, and he held the Bible, which is the most powerful thing in the universe, and he did it while people were like, it was somewhat of a war zone at the time. Yeah. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, is he going to be safe? I thought it was pretty awesome.
I know. The symbolism of it, because it was pure symbolism. That's all it was. Because he wasn't like out there fighting anybody. It was just, he was out there and people were like, oh, it's just a photo op. Yes, obviously it's a photo op. He's the president of the United States. That's what he does half the time is photo ops. But he's sending a message.
Let's take a quick break. Congressman Bost is going to be with us here in just a minute. Lots to discuss when we return with the representative from Illinois' 12th District. Don't go away. The Retirement Advisory Group, retirementkey.com. We have a seminar coming up, and I'm going to be there, and I'm really hoping that you will as well. The number to call to reserve your spot at the Tuesday, August 5th, Frontenac Hilton Seminar. It's going to start at 6:30. I'm going to get there at 6. Here's the number to call to reserve your spot. I've gotten several messages from people who are going to come and attend, so I think it's going to be a fun, lively group. 314-993-9494. That's 314-993-9494. Help to learn how to link to the market. It's safer than owning to the market. If you've got questions about that, the process, how Thomas Helbig and Bob and Tammy Kershaw can ensure that peace of mind in your retirement, this is a free event to come, and they have cookies and snacks. 314-993-9494. I will be there as well. I'll get there at about 6 o'clock. The event starts at 6:30. He might keep you about 45 minutes or so. It's not a whole evening commitment. Just come. Enjoy it. If it's for you, you can set up an appointment and dig a little deeper. 314-993-9494, retirementkey.com.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been diagnosed with mesothelioma, call us now. $30 billion was set aside for meso victims, and in most cases, your claim is settled out of court without a jury trial. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Fox News National, St. Louis Local, 97.1 FM Talk.
I got my first real 6-string, bought it at the 5 and dime, played it till my fingers bled, was the summer of 69. Me and some guys.
A quick summary. Americans asked for secure borders and safer communities, and Republicans delivered the largest investment in border security and interior enforcement on record. And with the Halt Fentanyl Act and the Lake and Riley Act, we're making sure American communities are safe from deadly drugs and illegal aliens that have taken far too many lives. The American people asked us for bigger paychecks and more affordable gas and groceries, and we delivered on that too. We delivered the largest working and middle-class tax cut in the history of the United States. And we've torn down Biden-era regulations like the California EV mandate that was just madness. And worked against working families and American energy dominance.
Speaker Johnson, speaking of just some of the accomplishments that the Congress has gotten done so far in the first 6 months of President Trump's second term of his presidency, but there is certainly a lot more work to do, and we want to speak to Congressman Mike Bost, who's joining us now, the United States Congressman for Illinois' 12th District. He's also the chair of the House Veterans Affairs Committee. Congressman, thank you for being with us again today. It's good to have you back.
Annie, thanks for having me on. And just so you know, as he said, Mike Johnson, I was listening to that.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, certainly. There's a lot to do left. You guys did a lot in 6 months, but there's a lot more to go. What's the priority?
Okay, several things. Well, there's things with veterans, but right now the most important thing is we got to move forward with our budget. We've got to have it done by September. And the thing is, the House has already moved 60%. And I think you and I have talked about this before. Since the Budget Control Act of 1972, or the Budget Reform Act of 1972, which actually put these 12 different bills we have to move in place, and then they have to go through the Senate, and that's how you pass the full budget. Only twice since 1972 has all 12 budgets been passed. And that's because certain ones are very, very difficult. And then what you end up having is not a full budget CR, because if you're passing parts of it, then those parts are passed. But you get, unfortunately, when people hold up and play for the perfect instead of the very good, you end up having CRs, which are they're bad, but they're a whole lot better than shutting down the government.
So, Congressman, we're talking about the budget. You're saying you have a September deadline on that, correct?
It's the end of September.
The end of September. Is this the thing where is this the same conversation that we're having right up to Christmas when we're like, it looks like Congress is going to be spending Christmas because they pass a CR, just kick the can down the road? Is that what we're talking about?
Yes, that's what we're talking about. You bet.
A
whole lot of that has to do, I believe that a majority of the bills we will get through the House, okay? But remember, the Senate still has that cloture rule that I talked about. And that what happens is when we as Republicans try to, no, we're not going to expand this much, we're not going to expand this much, to get the Democrats on board in the Senate to get the 60 votes, then all of a sudden, if you're going to actually pass the bill, then all of a sudden they're going to have their requirements, and their requirements usually end up costing us more money in the long run.
Representative Bost, this is Ryan Wiggins. Can you just briefly explain, because even I get lost in the details of this sometimes, the difference between the big, beautiful bill, which to me was a spending bill, and now the budget? Because a lot of people, I think, get confused.
So what the big, beautiful bill is it is a reconciliation, okay? And we will have probably during our time if we can hold the House, we can probably do another reconciliation, because what that does is, because it's a reconciliation and not a budget bill, it's the reconciling between the House and the Senate. It does not require the 60 votes before it requires the 51 votes that the normal budget would. And then it only could deal with mandatory spending, and it has to go through this whole, and that gets very wonky. There was a Senator Byrd that passed these certain rules on what it had to do. Then you got a parliamentarian that makes a rule whether it passes the Byrd rules, and that's called the Byrd bath. So basically, that's how many of the things that the House passed over did not qualify under the rules of the Senate, and so those things were removed. But the majority of them stayed, and that's why we got so many things that we did get in that big, beautiful bill in a very positive manner.
You are the chair of the House Veterans Committee. Were there any benefits cut to veterans from the big, beautiful bill?
Absolutely not. No. We have what we've done, and what we're trying to do right now is I passed the access out of committee yesterday. There were several bills passed out of committee. Access makes sure there's two bills that have been passed that make it to where our veterans can seek help. If they want to go to the VA, they can go to the VA, but they can also seek help in the community care. And we had the Choice Act years and years ago, then the Mission Act. But each time bureaucrats in the VA choose, matter of fact, we had discovered an inner email since this administration has taken over that the second in command sent a message out during the Biden administration, don't allow anyone to press the easy button for community care. We found that in an email that was sent out to everybody. So now the access, basically what it is, shouldn't the veteran, thus the patient, and their doctor be able to make the choice whether they're going into the community or whether they're staying at the VA, whether they have the opportunity to get it into an appointment faster in the community or in the VA. They get to make the choice. That's what this is about, and so we're moving forward with that. But in answer to your first question, there was nothing cut for VA.
Yeah, and I remember you saying this, and it's such an important perspective for people to understand that the VA and what we do as a government is set to actually help veterans, not the bureaucracy that is put into place to take care of the veterans.
Exactly. And the problem is, and matter of fact, this was just the other day. It was the same situation when we were trying to move the bill. Our Democrat colleagues and this was yesterday. That's the reason I wasn't on your show yesterday, by the way.
Yeah.
Because I was chairing the committee while we were trying to move this. Their argument over and over and over again was more about the bureaucracy, and I kept bringing it up. What you're arguing here is you're saying that the veterans aren't really worth us really providing them with the care they need and they want. We're going to do it to make sure that we don't. We want to force them in to the VA. Now, all of our bills, and this is a thing that the Democrats have called for years. Oh, Republicans want to privatize. No, we don't want to privatize. The VA does a great job. It does some great research, and I'm a big supporter of the VA as is. But also remember, the VA was created for the veteran. It was not created for the bureaucrats that now understand this. As you said, I think I told you that last month. VA has 477,000 employees. And if somebody says, well, the staffing may be reduced by as much as 30%. In places where you have waste, fraud, and abuse, yes.
Yeah. Quality, not quantity.
Right. Because the thing is, we're spending 3 times as much as we did 15 years ago, but we have the same problems and the same backlog. And, but we've done some very good expansions with the PACT Act and with the Elizabeth Dole Act. And we're going to continue to work on these issues. I'm actually going Tuesday. I don't know the time yet, but the president is signing one of our bills that we passed to help our veterans that have trouble with their home loans, so they don't get foreclosed on. The problem is Biden created a situation where he wanted the VA to come in and be bankers. Well, government doesn't do a lot of things well, but they sure can't be bankers, because the idea and intent from what was happening there was these homes that after COVID that our veterans were in the rears on, they were just taking the full loan over at the cost of the taxpayer on an average about $375,000. And I'm not talking a few of them. I'm talking thousands of them. And we said, no, we are not going to do that. This administration come in. We created the bill, passed it, called the partial claim, so that they're not getting foreclosed on. But it ends up being about $25,000 to help them through the hard time, to get them back on track to make their payments again.
We're speaking with Congressman Mike Bost. He's the representative for Illinois' 12th District, chair of the House Veterans Affairs Committee, so very well versed in these particular issues. Back to the budget before we let you go. You said that ideally you have something in place by the end of September, right? And then we don't have to wait up until the Christmas when everything is about to come into the new fiscal year.
That's correct.
Is that why would it be different this year? Are you guys going to be able to pull this off?
I hope, but I don't know. No, I'm a little frustrated because I have even Republican members that quite often, and I've said this before, I might even agree with them. But the thing is, we still have to have our 218 votes to get it to the Senate. And then all of a sudden, when the Senate comes back, because they're going to have their 60 votes, many of our 218 will look at it and go, no, I'm not voting at all. Well, then that will cause a government shutdown if you don't pass a CR. And so then what ends up happening is then you have Democrats on our side that get an opportunity to put their things in, and then it just crumbles. So pray a lot, work hard, and right now, but remember, we're over 60% of the budget passed in the House already. So we're back into our district and our work period at this time, and then we go back in 1st of September and try to get it done.
So everything, the 60% that the House has passed so far, that has to go to the Senate, and it requires 60 votes in the Senate.
That's correct. But these, just so you know, the 60% that we passed. So it is the MILCOM, which is the military and veterans stuff. That goes through pretty easily because everybody's there's enough people. Okay, we know what we got to do there.
Right.
The other is the transportation stuff that goes through pretty quickly. There's very few, but it's when you start getting down into the smaller budgets that our administration and everything like this really people start fighting.
Can you pass 60% of it and go with 60% and CR the rest, or is it all or nothing?
Yes, yeah, you can, but people don't. Yeah.
Politics. Yeah, I understand.
But like I said, remember that. But that's why I can say that. Whenever I said that since 1972, all 12 bills have only been passed twice. So I would say that sometimes we get 9, sometimes we get 7, sometimes very good case you get 10.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't get all.
Okay. Well, August will be an interesting month as you all are back in your districts to listen to what the American people have to say, and we will definitely like to hear what's coming up in September. If you're around in August, you can come in. We invite you to come in the studio one time. We'd love to have you.
I appreciate that. We'll see if we can work that out.
Sounds good. Thank you, Congressman. Good to speak with you.
All right, good to talk to you.
Take care. Bye-bye. Congressman Mike Bost, Congressman for Illinois' 12th District, Chair of the House Veterans Affairs Committee. 2 times since 1971 that they've passed all 12 sections of the budget.
Yeah, that's a little surprising because a lot of this stuff you figure is more modern. That there's no bipartisanship. That goes way back.
Yeah.
I get super annoyed at the butting up to Christmas thing, because then we're talking about should Congress stay at work and get the job done through Christmas for the people, or should they go home and lavish in their money and presents? It's can we skip that part? And then they get it done, and it's a crap deal. And everyone's like, Christmas, whatever. And then you just move on and you do Christmas.
It fascinates me because Mike Bost will talk about this, and a lot of people don't get into the details like he does. When he talks about the way that, okay, we got to get this number of people on board so that it can go here, and then here's what they'll do, and then it comes back to us so that we can do this, but we need 3 people to do that, that stuff. To me, it would be really interesting to be in the room to hear, because you always hear you send a conservative to Congress and then they do things you don't want, but a lot of it's that stuff that gets lost in translation because there's so much process. I don't know. I'm fascinated by that. I don't know that it makes super entertaining radio, but I like to hear it.
Man, there's a video that I saw yesterday, and I'm going to play it for you when we come back. And this is kind of soul-shaking stuff. Another oversight hearing that took place, and they've discovered something about the way that we were handling our immigration system. This involves children, folks. You are going to want to hear this story when we come back. We'll have it right off the top. Don't go away.
Ain't no use in complaining when you got a job to do. Spend my evenings down at the drive-in, and that's when I met you.
If you're buying, if you're selling, if you're simply considering moving and you're not really 100% sure what's going to happen next, can I encourage you, please, to call the Dittamore Group and help them or ask them to help you guide yourself through this process. It's important to have the right people on your team. You don't know what you don't know, and I think that unless you're moving all of the time, the market has shifted, it's changed, it's ebbed, it's flowed. You need people who have been in it and who understand, okay, this is what your house could list for. And I think that a lot of us might be really shocked at what our house can list for at this point in time, because equity has certainly gone up. Prices for homes have gone up. If you're looking to sell your home, that's going to be super exciting. And then you're like, okay, I'm looking to buy a home, and prices also are high. You want to make sure that you're getting the value out of your investment, both in the sell and in the buy. And that's where the Dittamore Group comes in. They are the #1 team in the #1 office in the Metro East. They have 50-plus years of experience, and they are at 618-531-4652. 618-531-4652. Call or text thedittamore.com.
This summer, while you stay cool, our first responders stay on the front lines. The St. Louis First Responder Canteen is there to keep them hydrated and supported. Find out how you can help by visiting 971talk.com/talkinaction.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 40-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term life insurance may only cost you about $100 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-770-0850. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance to buy $1 million of affordable term life for you. All you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-770-0850. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-770-0850. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. For affordable term life insurance, call 800-770-0850. 800-770-0850.
Let's just face it, right? Your home should work for you, not against you. Hi, it's Kim, and if you've been dreaming of a new kitchen, bathroom, or a finished basement, now's the time to call Lakeside Renovation and Design. They're St. Louis's trusted experts in turning houses into dream homes. Just imagine this, a spa-like bathroom, maybe a chef-inspired kitchen, or how about a cozy basement perfect for some movie nights? Their team handles everything from design to installation so you can just sit back and enjoy the process. Visit lakesidearty.com today to start your dream renovation.
The heat's really been extreme last week or so. I have a wife that's going through change of life, and she woke me up 3 a.m. and said there's something wrong with the air conditioner. I checked the thermostat, and it's set at 66, and it is saying 66. Like we set it every single night. I said, okay, how do you feel? She goes, okay, well, as long as it's 66. And then within 2 minutes, all the covers are back on her, and she says she is freezing. I said, honey, the air conditioner isn't broke. Your thermostat is broke. So if you're living that way, my advice is this. I'm not the brightest bulb in the box, but here's what I do. I keep my laughter inside. It is real what they're feeling. You don't need to call me. You can say you called me, but you don't need to call me. Save your money. This is Bart Inman. One easy number in Missouri and Illinois, 314-293-2600. God bless.
Attention St. Louis Medicaid members. If you need assistance with daily living, you can receive a free service from Freedom Care in your own home from a loved one who lives with you. With Freedom Care, you decide who provides your daily care, helping you with preparing meals, bathing, laundry, transportation, and more.
A family member or friend that gets paid weekly. This Medicaid program is available to eligible St. Louis residents.
New to Medicaid? The Freedom Care family will guide you through enrollment, making it stress-free for patients and caregivers. With over 7,000 5-star Google reviews, we've perfected at-home care for Medicaid members and caregivers. If you live in the St. Louis area,
this service is available through Medicaid, and with our InstaPay app, caregivers can choose to get paid weekly. So go to freedomcare.com now, or for faster service, call 314-697-4912. 314-697-4912. That's 314-697-4912.
We're asking you today in the YouTube live chat poll, is Russiagate a cover-up for Epstein, or is Epstein a cover-up for Russiagate? Let us know. There's a couple options there. It's actually 4, both, neither. You can pick any one of those and then let us know why you picked what you picked in the YouTube live chat poll. It is 1:51. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Range. It's the Annie Fry Show.
So you're telling this committee that the Biden administration, while they were letting all of these unaccompanied minors into the country, and as we've talked about today, they weren't keeping track of them, they issued these kids a hotline that they could call if they had trouble with the sponsor family that they were put with, and you're saying that 65,000 calls to this hotline designated to protect these kids went unanswered? Is that what you're telling this committee?
Yes, sir.
Wow. That is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Do you know how many staffers the administration assigned to answering these phones and helping these kids?
One.
One staffer? Any idea how many hours a day this staffer was working?
No.
Maybe that's why there were 65,000 calls that weren't answered from these little kids, huh?
Does that turn your stomach? Turns my stomach. 65,000. This is like talking, when we were talking about the money that's going into the Fed, $2.5 billion to renovate the Fed over there. What is $2.5 billion? We don't even have a comprehension of that kind of money. 65,000, like how do you have 65,000 calls to a hotline set up for immigrant children to call if they have trouble or problems with their sponsors?
This makes me so mad. I was actually planning on doing a segment this weekend on this topic. This makes me so pissed off because I used to really respect the people on the left who were the bleeding hearts, because they would take an issue like this and make it massive and say, you need to pay attention to this. These are kids. Where the hell are you? Where the hell have you gone if you are a bleeding heart and you think you're empathetic right now to illegal immigration? Where the hell are you on these things? The people you're voting for are making a fool of you by creating stuff like this to play on your empathy, to make you feel like you accomplished something, and then putting one person in charge of the entire hotline and accomplishing nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Well, I mean, what they accomplish is their own political end. And if in politics, people do things for political gain, and you will regularly ask yourself, at what cost? 65,000 phone calls.
65,000 possible children being abused that they knew were happening, but chose to do nothing about it because guess what? You could have staffed that better, but no, you wanted the appearance of helping them without actually helping them.
Yeah, it's repulsive. It's shocking that we are here, that this is the place where we are. But we are here. If you want to talk about a compassionate country, you can't have systems that cause these types of things to happen. This is not even to mention how many children have just been lost.
Yeah, this is just calls we know of.
Not lost dead, but just we don't know where they are. Maybe dead. Maybe they're being trafficked. Maybe they're living a wonderful American apple pie life. But I don't think that that's generally the way these stories end up going. It is compassionate to, I don't say close our borders, I say secure our borders. People can come. We have a system set up for that. I'm very open to the conversation about refining that system and updating that system to for people who want to be here and want to contribute and are willing to do it out in the open. I'm very encouraging of that. But the system that we set up where we said, come on in, but make sure you do it through the back door. Make sure you do it. You're going to have to live in the shadows. How tragic is that? 65,000 calls to a hotline that these immigrant children were supposed to call. 65,000 calls unanswered, and one person tasked with answering that phone. Horrific. Let's take a quick break.
Everyone knows your name, so I guess I'll have to wait and see.
Mark Cox here. Join me, Annie Fry, and Mark Reardon, along with Bob and Tammy Kershaw of the Retirement Advisory Group for the next Protecting Your Retirement educational event. It's Tuesday, August 5th at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Here are Bob and Tammy with more.
Are you nearing retirement or already retired? Do you have your personalized income plan in place? Would you like to learn why linking to the market is much safer than owning the market, and how in 39 years we have never lost a penny of our clients' money?
Would you like to learn how to automatically lock in your market
market gains every year without having to sell? Did you also know if you're 59 and a half or older, you can roll over your company retirement plan tax-free to protect your nest egg from any future losses? You'll get all the answers and more. If you're 59 and a half or older, you cannot afford to miss this event.
Protect your retirement nest egg and join the official financial advisors of my show, Bob and Tammy Kershaw, at the Frontenac Hilton, Tuesday, August 5th at 6:30. Go to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Rulerfoods.com is the website, but you want to go to the store. That's where you're going to save the most. Or you can go to rulerfoods.com and schedule a delivery. Did you know that Ruler Foods will deliver to you? Just go to rulerfoods.com and you can set up a delivery there. Right now, they've got great sales ready for you to come enjoy. Craving something fizzy? You can grab Pepsi or Mountain Dew 12 packs. Buy 2, get 2 free. Anytime you can score a deal like this, it's a must-go-to. That might be what gets you in the door to save on those Pepsi or Mountain Dew 12 packs. Buy 2, get 2 free. But while you're there, save on Doritos, Cheetos, Smart Food, just $2.49 when you buy 4 each. Fresh picks, get 2 pounds strawberries or 18-ounce blueberries as well. Only $3.99 per. You can also save on Kroger, 73% lean ground beef, told in a 3-pound roll, just $3.99 a pound. Ruler Foods, they always have savings for you. They carry the Kroger brands at Ruler Food prices, as well as the name brands you know and love. Learn all about it online at rulerfoods.com.
This year, fuel prices have been a bit of a roller coaster. Here in St. Louis, drivers finally have some relief at the pump. But when it comes to groceries and food, it's still pretty bumpy out there. Well, you know what can make your ride smoother? The Upside app. With Upside, you can earn an average 8% cash back on grocery or restaurant purchases and up to 25 cents per gallon on gas, which means there's money to be earned even when fuel prices are low. There are hundreds of nearby locations like Schnucks, Burger King, Arby's, and Taco Bell. Download the app and see why millions of Upside users have racked up almost $1 billion in cash back earned. For a limited time, get a 10% bonus on your first purchase with promo code STL11. That's promo code STL11 for an extra 10% cash back bonus. With Upside, you can roll up to a nearby grocery store, restaurant, or gas station and coast straight to cashback earnings. Don't forget to use promo code STL11. Upside. Cashback smarter. Offers vary by user and location. Terms and conditions apply. Go to upside.com for details.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app.
Gaza ceasefire talks are cut off. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. First Israel and now U.S. negotiators going home for consultations.
The U.S. team negotiating in Doha is heading home early. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff says the latest response from Hamas clearly shows a lack of desire to reach a ceasefire in Gaza. And Hamas, he says, is not acting in good faith. Witkoff now says the Trump administration will consider alternative options to bring hostages home and create a more stable environment for the people of Gaza. In a statement, he says Hamas has acted in a selfish way. A U.S.-backed plan called for a 60-day ceasefire for the release of at least 10 living hostages from Gaza and hundreds of Palestinian prisoners in Israel freed.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. Meantime, the State Department just confirming the U.S. will not attend an upcoming conference at the UN on a two-state solution. Another round of questioning begins for Ron Klain, the former Biden White House chief of staff, giving a closed-door deposition to a House panel probing Biden's health in office. California Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna says Klain was credible and fully cooperative in the first round earlier today.
There are times where he was asked about personal conversations he had with the president, and he was forthcoming, even if he could have said it was a private matter.
Republicans also say Klain has been answering questions, not taking the fifth, as other Biden aides have done. Some of the afternoon questions will focus on Hunter Biden's recent claim his father took a sleep aid during a busy travel schedule leading up to last June's disastrous debate. Hulk Hogan is being remembered not only as a Hall of Fame wrestler.
At the end of WrestleMania 5, I will be the World Wrestling Federation champion.
But also for his broader impact on pop culture. Hogan died earlier today after a cardiac arrest call at his Florida home. He was 71. America is listening to Fox News.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
It is the hardcore feel of summer going through our Thursday afternoon. Partly sunny, hot and humid. 99 today, the heat index 108. Warm and humid tonight, 77. 80 plus for the city. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, partly sunny, hot and humid. Each day, though, could bring some spot afternoon thunderstorms. 95 Friday, 97 Saturday, 98 on Sunday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live, sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Time to schedule your air conditioner service. Get not just your AC, but your entire HVAC system checked for $19 a month with the preferred partner plan, and stay cool this summer. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
You need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
We mentioned a little bit earlier in the show, Hulk Hogan has passed away, and it was kind of timely. Didn't schedule it that way, of course, to have Dr. Siegel on with us. I really enjoy him. Doesn't he seem like a joyful person?
Yeah.
Like a doctor that you'd want to see?
He seems like a doctor that I would just want to sit and ask about all kinds of different health problems, like a chiropractor.
Well, he was talking about Hulk Hogan and that, you know, people from that era were generally steroid users. Is it a fact that Hulk Hogan was a steroid user? I mean,
I know, but those guys are
safe
enormous. Bet. Well, he said that wrestlers don't tend to live as long.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of rough on your body.
It's got to be.
It really is.
It's funny to see how many people are. I keep forgetting this because I am. Hulk Hogan is like a character out of my childhood. But it was like happening on the other side of the fence for me.
Yeah.
It wasn't like if you know who is it Jazz Jim
and the Holograms.
Yeah.
What?
Do you
no.
know?
No, I don't know.
I'm okay. Well, Brad, you explain it.
It was a cartoon about this girl named Jim, and if I remember correctly, she would transform, but she was also like this rock star. But it was kind of like Hannah Montana, but a cartoon, and they were more superhero-y, if I remember correctly.
Hannah Montana was a person. This was a cartoon, and I'm looking at the cartoon right now. You guys probably were you big into cartoons growing up?
Yeah.
Yes.
What were your cartoons?
Saturday morning stuff I loved, but I really liked Garfield, and I liked Ninja Turtles.
Gosh, Ninja Turtles, man.
Yeah.
I was in a Ninja Turtles too. My brother was actually a Ninja Turtle. He was so into Ninja Turtles, as you probably both were. I mean, it was such a cultural phenomenon. We have my dad always had, the put it on your shoulder VHS camcorder, and so we have a ton of home videos, which is such a blessing to have that because it was. I mean, the thing was bulky and heavy and whatever, but there's this, and my dad was usually the one videoing. So he was also in radio. So he has this like pleasant voice to listen to. But every once in a while, you just get Dad's commentary on whatever's going on. There's Dad. And I remember that Christmas, everything my brother got was Ninja Turtles. And I can hear in my head my dad saying, "This is the Turtle Christmas." So I think of that every time I talk about Ninja Turtles. My dad going, "This is the Turtle Christmas." I don't like the toys. There was a cartoon, but the toys.
Oh yeah.
That doesn't exist for our kids the way it did for us.
Not well. There's still. It's shifted to collecting other types of toys. I don't know that boys are into action figures the same way they were.
That involves imaginative play, and I think baby girls, toddlers into young girl children will still play with baby dolls, still dress up Barbies and stuff. But like the idea of having a He-Man or a G.I. Joe or a Hulk Hogan action figure, there's something that you saw that you were otherwise going to be bored for that time. So you'd take your imagination and things that you knew to be true, and then you'd go create your own stories in your basement, in your yard, wherever you might have been. There really isn't that anymore. Am I wrong?
Yes, because it's shifted. My kids are at that age. So I have an 11-year-old who's just starting to get out of that, and an 8-year-old who's right in the center of it. Mm-hmm. And they still play together a lot, but what they play with, Pokemon cards, so that's not action figures, and Legos. They play with lots and lots of Legos, but they treat those Legos and those guys and sets like action figures. Mm-hmm. So they're doing the same type of play, but it's not Ninja Turtles. It's not big muscular dudes. It's not even G.I. Joes. They're playing with Legos.
Here's Gem and the holograms. I got
never seen this before.
She had something special with her earrings, but she was basically, I don't know was she saving the world from something?
Something.
But she was like,
she must have done it because we're all fine.
Yeah.
Maybe she would. I'm trying to what was her normal? Like, who was she when she was normal? I think she was a lead singer of a band, and then she would do something with her earrings and turn into some superhero. I don't know, but we didn't miss an episode. I must not have been paying attention.
Where was this on? How would I have missed this entirely?
I don't know. I know there are people listening right now who know about Gem and the holograms. Come on.
Were all of her bandmates holograms?
They were cartoons.
Well, the whole thing's a cartoon.
They remade a movie of it in 2015.
Really? With live action or cartoon?
Her name was Jerrica Benton, and she
Jerrica.
inherited a record company and a foster home, but had a power struggle with the co-owner.
That sounds like a real story.
Say that again.
So
just wait a second. Let the plot simmer here.
Yeah, she inherits a record company and a foster home and faces a power struggle with her co-owner. And to save the foster home, she transforms herself into the rock star Gem with the help of the holographic computer created by her father.
They were into a lot of different industries.
So the rock star is the alter ego.
Yes.
And she only had to do the alter ego to save her own foster home?
And record company.
No, it sounds like the record company was okay.
Yes.
I think it was the foster home that her
right.
Her
yeah,
co-owner
I don't
was
remember
against
all
it.
of that.
And
but
then,
it was a big deal. I recall you said Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah.
Looney Tunes
was the best.
Merry Melodies.
Yep.
And then Animaniacs came around probably intermediate school, maybe third, fourth, fifth grade. Ethan's back in with us. Ethan, have you ever seen Animaniacs? Have you ever heard of Animaniacs?
No.
Oh, man.
Yes, you have. United States, Panama, Mexico, Canada. Canada.
Would you like to take a survey?
Nothing.
About
Nothing's
beans?
Ringing. Nothing is ringing a bell.
Wheel of morality. Turn, turn, turn. Tell us the lesson that we should learn.
I think we all remember one episode.
Well, I just remember
They're
the
just
song
different.
because the song lives on.
We're
the nations of the world.
Animaniacs. Oh.
No, I
Now
grew up.
the nations of the world.
I think it came on right after school got out. If you hurried home, you could throw your bags down and get it was maybe a 3:30 airing on Channel 11 or whatever. Yep. Ethan, that was the cartoon you could watch as a kid. I mean, it was not everything else was Oprah or I mean, they didn't even have daytime news TV or whatever it was at the time. Like, here it is. Go ahead. No, not
Almost there. Almost there.
I can't imagine not having SpongeBob.
Oh my gosh.
It's the best.
On Nickelodeon?
And
Yeah.
now,
Here we
the
go.
Nations of the World, brought to you by Yak.
Have you ever experienced that before?
No.
It's amazing, isn't it?
That was unbelievable.
It really is amazing.
Can you watch the Animaniacs anywhere right now?
I have no idea.
I mean, that would be something. I'm glad we're talking about this because I'm always looking for things from our past. We've talked about this a lot that I'm trying to show my kids. I want them to experience those great classic movies from the 80s, from the 90s, mostly from the 90s. Maybe some early 2000s, and I want them to be able to consume this stuff. They were watching Looney Tunes. It was on somewhere, and they think it's great.
Oh, yeah, my kids too.
Yeah.
They're just blowing each other up.
Says you can pay to watch it on YouTube, Apple TV, or Prime Video.
Yep.
Prime Video, do you get access to all of them if you pay for it?
It looks like it. It looks like you rent it to have access to it. Yeah.
I would think I will do that because that's something. Gosh, man, they're probably listening right now. They're watching some YouTube channel, and it's a dad and a daughter, and these people are very successful YouTubers. No disrespect at all for what these people have done to create. I think they have a couple million, maybe 3 million subscribers or something. These people are very successful. I begrudge them none of it. But you can only take so much of one thing in your house. And every time I come home, we're watching this dad and this daughter do all these zany things.
Oh, no.
So I'm like, just watch it when I'm not here.
You know who the executive producer of Animaniacs is?
Steven Spielberg.
Steven Spielberg.
That's why it was so
Are
great.
you going to watch it now?
I mean,
After Spaceballs?
A lot of people are asking.
You're asking me if I'm going to pay for it?
It will be
know.
entertaining as an adult.
I don't
promise you.
disagree with that.
It'll probably be more. That's why I want to watch it again because I was thoroughly entertained for those 30 minutes when it would be on weekdays after school. But it was you could always tell it was really smart. Really smart. And I was probably not that smart then, so I'd like to check it out now. I wonder if any of those countries has anything changed?
I can't remember. I think I remember listening closely enough to see if they had not too long ago, and a couple had. The one that always surprised me that they listed in there, because this is really before it was a huge international issue, Palestine.
Yeah,
they
I did
say
hear that.
Palestine at the very end of that. They say that's a nation.
All right, you sing it now.
United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru. That's as much
like
as I know.
half the speed, too.
That's still pretty good.
Yes,
and
it
more
is.
than I could have done.
Sounds even better with Carrie Underwood under it.
Animaniacs, that's right. I wonder if she could sing that song. We'll be right back with Ethan's sports and local news. Don't go away.
They're gonna say that I did it for the glory, but don't think that I did it for the fame, yeah. I did it for the love of the game, yeah.
HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com. Level out that concrete that has progressively gotten worse over the course of time with Home Shield Foundation Repair. You can call Matt Hayes, the owner, and tell him, this is what I'm looking at. He'll come out and check it out, and he'll be able to tell you, okay, this is what we can do for you. Or maybe this is a project that's beyond leveling with the polyjacking, and you should do that. He's going to be honest with you. He's a great guy. He's a great crew. These people love working together. They have a great culture because they do great work. They're reliable, and you can trust them to do you right. 314-227-9636. 314-227-9636. That's going to get you directly to the friendly folks at Home Shield Foundation Repair, and they'll help you understand exactly how they go through this process of polyjacking to even out that uneven concrete, which can be very dangerous if it is not attended to. They can do this for driveways, sidewalks, walkways, garage floors, patios, pool decks, residential and commercial alike. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
If you or someone you know suffered any injuries involving a deployed airbag, you could be entitled to compensation. Morgan & Morgan has already recovered millions. Get America's largest injury law firm fighting for you.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Are you nearing retirement and don't know if you have enough money saved to retire? That is scary. Do you have a written retirement financial plan in place? Well, when it comes to retirement planning, the trusted team at Financial and Tax Architects are the best. They've helped people all over St. Louis retire with confidence. And that's what you want. You want to retire with confidence. Now, they offer a one-night, 2.5-hour adult education class called Retirement Planning 101. They hold these at colleges over the St. Louis area and in Illinois. No cost, no obligation, just learning. And at this class, you learn how to avoid costly mistakes, how to maximize your income, how to reduce taxes in retirement. So call them today, 314-888-5101, or visit fta-ria.com and take the first step toward a smarter retirement. 314-888-5101.
Tony La Russa here. Men, are you running out of stamina rounding third base? If so, call my friends at Victory Men's Health in O'Fallon, Illinois. Scoring at home is important, just as important as crossing the plate with the winning run. VictoryMen'sHealth.com.
Viking, dedicated to creating travel experiences for the thinking person, with programs designed for cultural enrichment on board and on shore. Discover more at Viking.com. That's Viking.com. Viking.com.
Rooted in faith, grounded in family. This is the Annie Fry Show.
We were staying in Paris to get away from your parents, and I thought, wow. Hold up!
Check it out. Sports and local.
The raging rants of Ethan again.
Was there an ellipsis in that?
There was.
I heard it.
Yeah, he nailed that.
All right, Ethan, rage on.
I will.
He's very calm about his rage.
This is something to rage
He's
about.
working up to it.
It's a passive-aggressive rage, the scariest kind.
Hello, friends and Ryan.
Easy.
Hi, Ethan.
Hi, Ethan.
Irfin.
Story number one on the day. Not something to rage about, but I think is good news for at least those in this room.
Good rage.
Gage.
I don't think so.
Got that? Got it. Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey has filed a lawsuit against Planned Parenthood Federation of America, accusing them of misleading women about the safety of mifepristone, a medication used in abortion procedures. In the lawsuit, Bailey claims that Planned Parenthood is violating Missouri's consumer protection law through dishonest advertising.
You can order this medication online. You can fill out a form and never have to see a medical provider. You take a pill. It induces an abortion. You could be months pregnant. It induces an abortion. You pass the child at home, and if anything goes wrong, you go to the hospital and then can be cared for, but it won't be treated as though it's a abortion. Like it's not called an abortion. You can do this so that you can essentially have an unsupervised abortion, which is also a private abortion.
Now that's something to rage about.
Oh my gosh. This is not pro-woman. at all. It's not pro-human, especially, but it's also not pro-woman.
According to the FDA, mifepristone, it can cause serious or even fatal infections in rare cases. However, the FDA also notices that U.S. clinical studies have found serious complications in fewer than 0.5% of patients. Bailey's lawsuit claims other studies have suggested up to 4.5% of patients may need emergency care following a medication abortion. The lawsuit seeks a court order to stop Planned Parenthood from making what Bailey's lawsuit alleges are misleading claims about mifepristone. It's also seeking more than $1.8 million in civil penalties for violations of Missouri law and up to $1,000 in restitution for every Missouri woman who Planned Parenthood provided abortion pills to in the past 5 years. A spokesperson for Planned Parenthood stated the following: "This isn't about keeping Missourians healthy and safe. It's about attacking abortion."
It's about the holy grail that is abortion. To the Democrat Party, they worship at this altar. That is not an over-exaggeration. Abortion is a feminist solution to the complete and total lack of responsibility that men have to have when they have sex with zero consequences. Just think about it for a second, that in the feminist world that kind of was brewing when I was younger, 80s, 90s, this women's empowerment movement that I kind of grew up in, turns into this postmodern feminism thing where we got to really stick it to men. It's women have made it to the table. Women's voices matter, but now it's time for men to sit down and shut up. But imagine in the pursuit of equal rights, imagine for a second that you would be willing to sacrifice the unborn. Initially because women should be able to have consequence-free sex whenever, with whomever, how often that they want. That consequence-free sex here is the actual goal. So instead of looking at men in the instance where we should shame men who sleep around and don't show up to meet the expectations, the possible consequences of those actions, and meet their responsibilities when they do develop with the life of a child, instead of saying, from a Christian standpoint, I have my moral thoughts on that, but we live in a free country, and my Christian faith doesn't rule the country. You can have sex with whomever you want as long as it's consensual. And men have been doing that forever, without having to bear the consequences of their actions. Women don't have the choice. So instead of asking men to step up and show up and be responsible, the only way to give women the permission to have consequence-free sex is to say, yeah, you can kill the baby. And then the men are like, yeah, you can kill the baby. You want $300? We could. What a race to the bottom. So now we've created a situation where instead of taking the baby out of the uterus piece by piece, which is what an abortion can be. They dismember the baby and they suck it out of the woman. Instead of doing that, now we have a situation. In addition to that, you can still get that done in a lot of places, but now you can also order a pill. You can order some medication. It'll be shipped to your home. You can have the abortion at home in the privacy of your bathroom, in your own bathrobe, in the comfort of your home. When that passes, when that, as you call it, cells and tissues pass, if it doesn't all pass, it can become an infection and you can die. And that happened in Georgia. And everybody wanted to say it's because people feel like they have to do abortions in secret. Remember when the whole idea is if it has to be safe, legal, and rare? We don't want to have coat hanger abortions in back alleys. We want them to be medically supervised. And now look what the Democrat Party is doing. They're shipping you medicine so you can have abortions in your home. The babies die. Women have died because of this. They are unsupervised. So it was never about safe, legal, and rare. It was about politics and consequence-free living. We are not holding each other to higher standards at all. It's such a race to the bottom, and it is an evil, evil way to prioritize something so obviously wrong, morally depraved, to make it some sort of political thing where the political outcome of this is that you three in here, you should just shut up and listen to what I have to say because you're men and you don't have any right to speak on any of this. But no abortion. No, there are 0 abortions that have ever happened that didn't at one point include the participation of a man. That's never happened before. A man has always been required as part of the process on the way to abortion. Every single time, 100% of the time, batting 1,000 there. You can have a participation trophy, but not be able to talk about it? That doesn't make any sense either. Sorry, Ethan, go on. This is Rage, right?
Good Rage.
Thank you.
Gage.
We love Gage. Moving on now.
Play that Animaniacs song again.
United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru.
Switching over to sports, Missouri football head coach Eli Drinkwitz has received a second contract extension in less than 2 years. This happened just today. This one keeping him with the Tigers through the 2029 season. It will also add additional money to his salary pool for assistant coaches. He signed an extension in December of 2023 that paid him, get this, $46 million through 2028, along with incentives such as college football playoff appearances, national championships, etc. Drinkwitz, who arrived in 2020 after one season at Appalachian State, is 38-24 with the Tigers, which has broken a Mizzou record for the most wins for the first 5 seasons by a Mizzou coach. Has also coached 17 players now that were chosen in the NFL draft, including Armand Mambeau, who got drafted 7th overall last year's NFL draft. So congrats to Eli and the boys, as you hear on the commercials here at 97.1. And it's supposed to be a good year for Mizzou again this upcoming season.
Are you a Mizzou Tigers fan?
Not really. I mean, they're kind of local, but they're kind of not. So it's like,
what Ethan is saying is it would be bad professional optics for me to be like, no, I'm not.
They're like the semi-local team, so I feel like it's easy to just say, yeah, a lot of my friends cheer for them, so I'll back them, but I'm not a huge fan.
Do you hate them?
I don't hate them, no.
Are you
Do
sure?
you hate them?
Are you sure?
I think so.
60%
Well, I
of the
don't
people
know.
listening here love Mizzou Tiger football.
Yeah.
And 40% feel the other way.
I once had dinner with Gary Pinkel.
Did he know?
No, he didn't. He was in the restaurant, and I was at a table next to him. We didn't talk, but I
Awkward
saw
dinner.
him, and I pointed, and I'm like,
Pinkel!
Hey, that's Gary Pinkel.
What'd you eat?
That was back when I had an accent. I don't remember what we ate.
Why
I
did
think
you have
we were
dinner
eating
with
at
him?
a steakhouse. Maybe it was a Brazilian steakhouse.
Probably had like a salad.
Where all of the meat is on a skewer.
Was this a dream?
Oh no! Oh no!
Was this a fantasy?
This was not a dream. This was reality.
I don't like.
I had to pinch myself.
I don't like where your eyebrows went when you said that.
It was a glorious day for me.
Put them down.
It was wonderful. I mean, here I am with Gary Pinkel. Who would have thought? I had arrived. As a person who does not care about Missouri football, I have to qualify that.
Thank you.
You're
Andy,
welcome.
you're an Illini fan, right?
ILO.
They're supposed to be pretty good this year.
Football?
There is talks that they could be a dark horse to make the college football playoff.
Illinois has always been fun to watch. So we're Notre Dame family, and that's my husband's thing, and I am by marriage. But we watch Notre Dame. Every year they're going to compete, and then every year they have one really bonehead loss. And then it's like, oh, the whole season's over. It's college football. At least we got playoffs now. So that changes it a little bit.
Totally does.
And then, of course, a lot of the focus here is on Mizzou. But Illinois, from a football standpoint, in the last few years has just quietly competed, and it's like, why aren't we watching that game? We watch a ton of Illinois basketball, but football, yeah, they've got a respectable thing going there.
The last several years, they're definitely moving in the right direction. The head coach, Brett Bielema, that they have has really revitalized that program, and they're in a really good spot right now.
Very cool. Well, thank you. What was that one? Ethan's.
Oh, hold on. I got it. Raging Rants of Ethan again.
These are all listener suggestions.
I think
I'll add it again, but
brought the most rage that time. Is Trisha coming in? She is, right?
I believe so.
Yes. Annie, are you okay? Next, and things usually get off the rails here. This is a segment that's supposed to be what I think about things, but mostly it's just what Ryan thinks. Ryan says something, and then Brad plays the sound, and then we just move on. And I sit here and sip my salt water. It's kind of silly. We'll be right here when you return. Don't go away.
Let's show them we are better. We were staying in Paris to get away from your parents. You look so proud, standing there with a frown and a cigarette, posting pictures.
At the Diamond Shop, they have a huge clearance event happening right now. Summer clearance and estate sale, red tag clearance. You can save up to 70% off on the beautiful, beautiful pieces that you have available in stock at the Diamond Shop. I have multiple just timeless pieces that I have purchased or that my husband has purchased for me from the Diamond Shop. And I just want to remind you, 6 months out, same as cash financing. when you shop at the Diamond Shop, which means that with that 6 months out, we're within the realm of Christmas coming up. Sorry, I had to say that out loud. But when you're looking for a gift for somebody, be it an anniversary, a birthday gift, something to acknowledge a special moment, don't forget about the purchase of something in the jewelry department that is going to mark that occasion. It is timeless. It lasts forever, and it's something that can be passed down from generation to generation. The Diamond Shop, they have estate pieces as well available right now on this sale. 50% off all estate pieces, an extra 10% off all red tag clearance items. TheDiamondShop.net.
Do you know what went down at the Viper Room the night River Phoenix died? Are you aware of how Steve McQueen escaped death at the hands of the Manson family? But what about the real-life brutal murder that inspired David Lynch's Twin Peaks? These stories and more are told in the Hollywoodland podcast, where true crime and Tinseltown collide. Follow and listen to Hollywoodland wherever you get your podcasts.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call the Lance Story Law Firm today and let us get between you and the IRS. We'll protect your rights, including your right to appeal or even your right to take the IRS to tax court. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney team who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Story Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis, or visit Lance, D-R-U-R-Y, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm, 314-260-6120.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Annie, Are You Okay is coming up next with Trisha. Trisha, say hi.
Hi.
YouTube live chat poll is Russiagate a cover-up for Epstein, or is Epstein a cover-up for Russiagate? We'll give you the results of this interesting poll in just a few minutes here at the end of the show. It is 2:34. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
In my shoes, my toes are busted. My kitchen says my bread is molded. I got a good job at the dollar store.
Some news out of North Carolina. RNC Chair Michael Whatley is going to seek the open Republican-held Senate seat in North Carolina, the chair of the RNC. And that comes hand in hand with the announcement from Laura Trump that she is not going to be seeking that seat, which I think she'd be a great senator, but less Trump for right now, wouldn't you say? Let's get to Annie, Are You Okay? Let's get
And now it's time to play Is Annie Okay With This?
Trisha's in the house. How are you, Trisha?
Hi, Annie and crew. I'm great. How are you guys doing?
Great to see a friend.
Great to see a friend as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody
I
who
felt
I
personal. Understandable.
We're all friends here. Homeless man wins $1 million in lottery scratch-off game. This out of California, a man won $1 million in a scratch-off game after thinking he'd only won $200. He was surprised when the store manager confirmed his prize and asked him what he would do with the $1 million. He shared his plans to secure a home, get a couple of dogs, and invest the money for a steady income, expressing a desire to keep a low profile after his story went viral. Annie, are you okay?
You want to ask the question, too? You could cut Trisha off? Can she finish?
No, go ahead.
There's a big...
Just letting you know it was coming.
Are you okay?
Just like earlier in the studio? What's that?
Buying lottery tickets.
No. Well, I mean, when we're talking like hundreds of millions of dollars, it's fun to throw $20 at it. It's also stupid, but I still do it. Go on, Ryan. The floor is yours.
Thank you. I really feel bad for this guy. He's homeless, he wins $1 million, and still can't buy a home because he's in California. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
That was not worth the wait. It really wasn't.
I don't think so. I think it was. I
Do you know why it wasn't worth the wait?
Too much buildup.
That didn't help, but it was just kind of a rational thought.
That was a good, like, side panel Gutfeld joke, I think. That wouldn't be main headline, but, that's a good addition.
What a weird thought process.
Let's send this to Greg, huh?
I know what you're doing here. I know you're stepping right on my
Pandering into the
face
camera.
to launch yourself into a Gutfeld writer career, which I'm sure they would let you do if you did it for free.
I would.
I sent you...
Brad, make it real.
Pull up our DMs. Yeah, maybe a little less finger guns. I sent you a post from Joe DeVito.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you laugh out loud when you read that?
I did. That was a good, solid joke, just like the one I just made.
Joe DeVito put a tweet out, and I thought to myself, there is no way that Ryan Wiggins isn't the source of this joke.
They need to stop testing makeup on rabbits because it makes them look slutty.
That is a Ryan joke.
I was really proud of not only Joe DeVito for writing the joke, but Annie for thinking of me when she read it.
What did I say?
Are you writing for DeVito? Not Gutfeld, but for him who's writing
DeVito.
for Gutfeld.
Because stop testing makeup on rabbits because it makes them look slutty.
It's a solid joke. That's why
It's all Wiggins.
That's why he's on the #1 late night show in America.
Mm-hmm.
Texans shaken as thousands of fire ants are seen forming rafts on river using their bodies.
What?
Thousands of
Fire ants?
Fire ants have been spotted floating on floodwaters through the Texas cities and forming rafts using their bodies, with residents now reporting the gross behavior. The bugs, which can cause painful stings, are prevalent in Texas, and when their underground nests flood, they sink their teeth into each other, interlock their limbs.
It's kind of like this show.
And create a raft to stay alive.
Whenever it floods in here.
You guys sink your teeth into each other.
And then Ryan, just like Kate Winslet, laying on the raft all by himself.
Taking up all that space. He had a whole door.
That's why I always light matches in here. People think it's because of the farts, but it's because I'm trying to get the sprinklers to go off and flood this place so I can get on that door.
There's a lot of inside information in that. Just letting people... What's the question?
Are you okay with float trips?
Ooh. Are they overnight? They have to be, don't they?
Are they full of bugs and ants?
They don't have to be. My last one wasn't. So no, just float trips.
It just seems... Somebody said that camping and float trips is like... takes so much work and so much money to live like you're homeless.
It's true, but they're so fun. They're so fun.
If our crew and our families went on a float trip, would we all come back alive?
We'd all come back with bite marks from forming rafts.
From each other. I don't know. If I was going with the right people, I would go, but I would be like, isn't there anything else we can do?
Is there something indoors?
Is there something else?
Nice
or not.
swimming
It doesn't have to be
pool?
indoors, but just like civilized.
Could we sit around a campfire with citronella candles? That's what she's saying.
No.
Sounds so lame.
Just sit around like an American Legion and do some karaoke or something like that. I've done that with Trisha.
Yeah. Florida woman charged after allegedly spraying mace at a driver who struck a chicken crossing the road.
Ooh, wow.
There's a lot to unpack here. This
Yes.
out of Key West. According to the police,
Oh, Key West.
a 38-year-old woman stopped her car on a roadway to let a chicken pass, but another driver who was behind her swerved around her and ran over the bird. The woman wanted to teach the other driver a lesson, so she followed her, forced her to stop, yanked her car door open, and sprayed her in the face with bear mace.
Seems like a
What's
lot.
the lesson?
Wait, the woman
Don't run
who
chicken over.
the woman
chicken
who
over,
stopped
chickens over.
followed the woman who ran the chicken over.
Did she say, hey, hey?
Then bear maced her.
And then bear maced her. She's now facing 2 counts of aggravated battery and 1 count of burglary with assault or battery. Annie, are you okay with breaking for chickens?
I will stop my car in the middle of the road and help a turtle cross. Always got to push.
What about a chicken, though?
What if it's on 5570?
You got to do what you got to do. That turtle needs a hero.
Speed bump.
I will pray for the chicken. I'm not pursuing a
Dear
chicken.
Lord.
I have dinner,
It's me,
kids.
Annie.
I will pray for the chicken.
See, now here's the deal. No, am I getting, what's the actual question?
Are you breaking for a chicken?
Break? Yes. Swerve? No. My family was in a terrible car accident in 1997. I was a 7th grade, headed up to Chicago to play in the state basketball tournament in 7th grade. And we swerved to miss an animal that ran out in the front, and we were going 65 miles an hour up 55, and our van rolled 8 times, and it both left tires popped, and we rolled, and we all lived. And it's kind of amazing that we did. So that chicken's gonna be dust if it's on a highway like that. But if I'm driving 30 miles an hour on a country road, let's be real,
Ryan,
45 or 50, I'm stopping to help an animal if I feel like I can. But a chicken, like if you take a turtle out of the road and you put it over there on the other side where it was headed, the turtle's probably gonna.
You're helping, yeah. Chicken's
that
probably
chicken
gonna...
could cross the road 8 more times before you're out of sight.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan, why would a chicken be on 5570?
Trying to get to the other side.
There are turkeys. Okay.
You're better than that. I expect more out of you.
You're better than that, Ethan.
Yeah, you walked me right up to the doorway. What am I supposed to do?
You're an
not
enabler.
Go in? This is all your fault.
Ethan, you cannot become part of the problem.
I'm sorry.
There are turkeys like right across from the landfill.
That's what I always say.
Okay, fine.
Is that a euphemism?
Next question.
All
That's
right.
not this segment, but it is now.
Moose meat and antlers caused Alaskan plane crash. Too much moose meat and a set of antlers strapped to a wing brought a small plane down in Alaska, unfortunately killing its pilot. A crash report found the hefty meat cargo meant the plane was more than 100 pounds over its takeoff weight when it left a remote airstrip. The presence of a pair of moose antlers on the right wing strut of the plane, apparently a common practice in Alaska, would have likely made the flight even trickier. Annie, are you okay with moose meat?
Moose tracks.
In cold, frozen, creamy ice cream form.
Moose
meat.
Isn't there a popcorn combination that has something to do with mooses?
They're meese.
Cheddar?
white
He's just
cheddar?
saying words.
Cheddar.
No, absolutely not.
No,
not me.
That
I'm
was a
okay with
question.
people who are okay with it, but that's not for me. Isn't that like a Christmas gift? Is there? Maybe it's a brand or something like that. Gosh, somebody Google moose popcorn.
Harry and David?
I think maybe.
That's what you're thinking about?
Why are you talking like that?
Just curious.
He's being insightful.
You need to loosen your belt.
Moose munch.
Fun fact.
Moose munch, yeah.
Harry and David.
Here we go.
See? That's right.
Come on, Brad.
Hey, there are snowflakes on that box and everything.
The gaslighting was really working.
Bobo Farms is saying moose munch. He knows. People knew.
Bobo and
Bobo
Brad.
knows everything.
Bobo and Brad.
You got another one?
Peas in a pod.
One more. German Customs finds tarantulas in cookie shipment. German customs officers discovered about 1,500 tarantulas hidden inside a shipment disguised as
On
cookies.
purpose?
The
They probably
15-pound
didn't find them
shipment
on-
from Vietnam was intercepted, and when inspected, revealed tubes of tarantulas. Unfortunately for the spiders, many of them did not make it, but the ones that did were placed
Fortunately
into
for
professional
the
care.
security members, many of them did not make it.
A criminal investigation has been launched into the package's intended recipient.
Oh, God.
Annie, are you okay with cookies?
Not spider cookies.
Just cookies.
Just cookies,
Would you
though.
hold it? Have you ever held a spider?
I
Like a
would never
tarantula?
hold a spider. I would hold a tube of spiders like that, but not
What,
just
with
a
dead
spider.
ones
The
in
dead
it?
ones.
Yeah, the ones with dead ones.
Yeah, real brave, real bold.
The ones disguised as cookies.
Made in Vietnam, huh?
Would you ever hold it? You know how people come to like you go on a field trip or people come to your classroom for kids and they send those pictures. You're like, what'd you do to my child? Would you hold a spider?
I don't know. I have friends who have spiders. They have
called Point
tarantula
Pest Control.
Adults?
No, not they're not outside.
It's the children that Ryan's
Like
friends
they
with.
buy them. me and the dudes, like Pokemon and tarantulas. Like
going.
tarantulas are so cool.
Yeah. Keep going.
And they're like, "You're cool because you have a leather jacket." I'm like, "I know. I can smoke." 'Cause I'm older.
You wouldn't hold one?
No.
Ethan, would you?
Yeah, I would.
Have you?
No, I have not.
If somebody brings a spider, like a tarantula spider, into the show, I will quit that day. I will never
What
come
if
back.
it's dead?
No.
What if it's a paper one.
What if you got paid a lot of money to hold it?
I don't think there's an amount of money.
Seriously?
Not that somebody would really offer me.
Amount of money.
No.
Like if it's like they do not bite, it will not bite you, guaranteed. You wouldn't hold it for any amount of money.
I don't.
It will crawl.
Well,
Just
some
little-
tarantulas just don't bite.
Eat little legs.
Some. What if it's not one of those some?
I'm saying they probably know enough to get you one that
The
doesn't
spiders?
bite.
Oh.
Yeah.
They're like, don't bite her.
It's
She's
a
afraid
very
of you.
well-trained spider.
Listen, this one's cool, okay?
The
She
spiders
doesn't
had a
like
meeting.
you,
Oh,
but
gosh, I'm getting itchy. No. Stop looking at me. I don't like the way everyone's looking at me. Turn around and face the wall.
Okay.
Turn around. Now you make me uncomfortable. No. I don't. I can't think of a realistic sum of money that someone would offer me to hold that. And I'm pretty sure that thing would sense my
Fear and take advantage of it.
uncontrollable fear, and I would die.
How do you feel about cookies?
Cookies are great.
Thanks for getting back to the point.
We'll be right back.
I've seen better days. I've been star of many plays. I've seen better days. And the bottom drops out.
There is a debate that goes on in the Wiggins household over what we're going to eat next time we go to Andrea's. We do have an anniversary coming up at the beginning of August, so we're headed to Andrea's restaurant in Fairview Heights, O'Fallon, Illinois. And I would say the only problem we have is that we tend to get the same thing every time. That is the large tenderloin steak, the filet mignon, 12-ounce filet mignon. The thing looks like it's a softball. It is enormous. And even though we don't eat all day in preparation of going to Andrea's restaurant, we still can never finish it because it comes with all the sides. You know, it's not like the a la carte new restaurants. You order one thing and you just get everything with it. Go to Andrea's if you've never been there for your next occasion or just make an occasion up. We like to do that sometimes too. The restaurant is in O'Fallon, Illinois, Fairview Heights, O'Fallon. And you can get their sauce while you're there. We do that too because they have the trifecta. They have the barbecue sauce, the salad dressing, and of course their famous steak sauce that you can get all there in the restaurant while you're there. Visit them at andreas.com.
Hey, it's Mark Cox. Join me July 28th at Old Hickory Golf Club for the Missouri Republican PAC's first annual golf tournament benefiting Senator Adam Schnelting. Teams and individual golfers are welcome. Learn more at 971talk.com/events.
Step outside and fall in love with your backyard again. From inviting porch overhangs to durable composite decks and cozy screen rooms, Lakeside Renovation and Design creates stunning outdoor living spaces designed for relaxation, entertaining, and making memories. With expert craftsmanship and top-quality materials, your new outdoor oasis will be perfect for every season. Call Lakeside Renovation and Design today or visit lakesiderd.com to get started. Let's turn your backyard into the retreat you've always dreamed of.
Mark Cox here. Join me, Annie Fry, and Mark Reardon, along with Bob and Tammy Kershaw of the Retirement Advisory Group for the next Protecting Your Retirement educational event. It's Tuesday, August 5th at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Here are Bob and Tammy with more.
Are you nearing retirement or already retired? Do you have your personalized income plan in place? Would you like to learn why linking to the market is much safer than owning the market? And how in 39 years we have never lost a penny of our clients' money?
Would you like to learn how to automatically lock in your market gains every year without having to sell? Did you also know if you're 59 and a half or older, you can roll over your company retirement plan tax-free to protect your nest egg from any future losses? You'll get all the answers and more. If you're 59 and a half or older, you cannot afford to miss this event.
Protect your retirement nest egg and join the official financial advisors of my show, Bob and Tammy Kershaw, at the Frontenac Hilton, Tuesday, August 5th at 6:30. Go to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Smart talk, strong values. This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Man, I almost got in there before he started shrieking.
Yeah, you were about a half beat too late.
He sounds like he's hurting.
I can't wait for Christmas time just to play that song.
No.
You guys been good this year?
No. There's this.
No many.
I didn't know what you're talking about, and I just like replayed him. I'm like, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. There's this reel, this short video out that's whatever. And it's this like really heavy guy who like lives out in the middle of the woods, and he's wearing like pants and just suspenders and no shirt.
Is it cat turd?
What?
I don't know what you're talking about.
No.
No. I was talking about somebody who's unflattering. How rude. But this guy, he's sitting in his old broken down recliner, and he's like kind of acting like he hears something. And then it just said on the phone, like, I think I hear it coming. And then he goes and he opens his door and goes out to the middle of the woods, and he starts singing that Mariah Carey song.
Wait, the Christmas song?
Yeah. But you could just hear it like very faintly in the background. I don't want a lot for Christmas. And then he like just gets grumpy and he goes back in his house. It's July. It's almost August. Are you okay with that?
The passage of time is something that I just don't feel like I control at all. I've come to accept it for what it is.
Think about the passage of time.
Man, did I send you that video of Kamala Harris saying stupid stuff?
Which one?
I
Not
think
you.
is it a recent one?
It was recently highlighted. She was talking with maybe was it the Chicago Tribune or something? I see these videos, and the point that is made by how ridiculous of a candidate she is, every once in a while to dip back into that now, you're just like, man, we really dodged a bullet. But I always think, I don't want to hear that again. I don't want to hear it myself again. Why would I subject the people who listen to the show to that?
It is weird going back to it because you go, oh, yeah. She's still, in a lot of people's minds, a theoretical candidate for either governor of California or the next presidential candidate.
Is she
for
not like the
Democrats.
favorite to win the
she's
primary again?
the favorite among no favorites. She's
Right.
She's polling about the highest at like 11%. So there's no real favorite.
Gotcha.
I want to play this clip here real quick before we wrap up and get the results to today's YouTube poll about the Epstein files and Russiagate, because I don't really know anything about this. I've heard it come up a couple of times, and maybe you guys have heard something about it. But I don't like to play The View. I don't. It just seems like self-punishment to subject you or to subject ourselves to what these women are saying. But they are making the headlines. Do you guys know what this is about?
And before we go on hiatus, we only have one more show after this. I'm allowed to say that, right?
Too late now. So it doesn't really matter. Yeah.
Before we go, I wanted to tell people that the tide is turning. The tide is turning, and things are changing. I mean, the ultimate irony would be that Rupert Murdoch will take him down.
Yeah.
Fox News, who created the monster, will take him down.
Going on hiatus, one show left. I'm allowed to say that. The obvious reaction there was, you were not supposed to say that.
Yeah, that's the weird comment, because if they were just going on hiatus, because shows do that. I mean, even late shows, they'll go on a
Summer
break for a little while and they'll play repeats. So that's common. I don't know if that's common for The View, because I just don't know. But for her to say, can I say that?
I'm going to say, as a professional broadcaster, if you said that on the air after you've stated something, you messed up.
Oh, I've done it.
Unless you're making an active choice. But saying, should I say that afterwards? It's too late. The YouTube live chat poll, is Russiagate a cover-up for Epstein, or is Epstein a cover-up for Russiagate? Brad, do you have any thoughts on this? Are any of these stories being pushed out there to try to cover up the other?
Yeah, I think the Epstein one is being pushed out there more to cover up the Russiagate one. I know everybody's looking at, Brad, you're weird. What are you saying? It's probably both. No, I think it's that one, and I think that the Democrats are savvy enough to get a story out or push a story so that they know what's coming down the line, especially if there are people still on the inside of the intelligence community that would leak that information to those that need to do it.
Ryan, what do you think?
I'm actually on the line between both and neither. I do think that the timeline's been pushed up a little bit, maybe on some of these things, but also that both of them were going to happen.
They're standalone stories.
Yeah.
The Russiagate and the Epstein files are standalone stories. I think the president and this administration has been transparent with everything they're trying to do. Folks, it has been 6 months. I don't think either one is a cover-up for the other, and I think the people who are like, you're addicted to conspiracy thought, that, to me, that has to be the result of the thought process, not the initial thought that you try to prove. Ends justify the means. I say neither.
227 votes on today's YouTube live chat poll. Is Russiagate a cover-up for Epstein, or Epstein a cover-up for the Russiagate? 52% say neither, 26% say both, 11% say Russiagate to cover Epstein, and 10% say the other way around.
Thank you for the votes today. Overwhelming majority say neither. Thank you for voting. Mark Reardon Show next.
This year, fuel prices have been a bit of a roller coaster. Here in St. Louis, drivers finally have some relief at the pump. But when it comes to groceries and food, it's still pretty bumpy out there. Well, you know what can make your ride smoother? The Upside app. With Upside, you can earn an average 8% cash back on grocery or restaurant purchases and up to 25 cents per gallon on gas, which means there's money to be earned even when fuel prices are low. There are hundreds of nearby locations like Schnucks, Burger King, Arby's, and Taco Bell. Download the app and see why millions of Upside users have racked up almost $1 billion in cash back earned. For a limited time, get a 10% bonus on your first purchase with promo code STL11. That's promo code STL11 for an extra 10% cash back bonus. With Upside, you can roll up to a nearby grocery store, restaurant, or gas station and coast straight to cashback earnings. Don't forget to use promo code STL11. Upside. Cashback smarter. Offers vary by user and location. Terms and conditions apply. Go to upside.com for details.
Stewart's American Mortgage is the bagel loan guy. He is going to guide you in a kind of, I think, like when you're looking to buy a house, you're thinking mostly about the house, what you want, what you don't want, what the price is going to be, and what it's not going to be. If you hire a realtor or if you know people, sometimes you just kind of go to that lender and you don't really shop around for it. And, you know, if you've got a friend and you really want to go with them, okay, but you might not be getting the best deal. If you want the best deal, if you want to shop around a little bit, I really encourage you to talk to Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage about a bagel loan. No closing costs when you use the bagel loan, which is only available at Stewart's American Mortgage. Get that brand new mortgage, even a mortgage refinance, even a cash out mortgage refinance with Stewie. And when you qualify for that bagel loan, you're going to get to the closing cost process and not have to pay any closing costs. It's really that simple. 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. Google the bagel loan and MLS number 226-715.
It's Mark Reardon for Underdog Fantasy reminding you that you can still go yard all baseball season long with Underdog's Champions Game. It's so easy. And Underdog is a leading place to make all of your sports selections, and you can play in Missouri. It's one of the fastest growing sports apps. Millions have already won billions making plays on Underdog. And to play, all you have to do is download the app. You choose whether a player will go higher or lower on one of their stats. From baseball, it's home runs, strikeouts, total bases, and so much more. Once you put an entry together, if it feels good, you can play with as little as $1. If you get everything right, you